funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and breathe and connect to myself and know that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress. The ring be looking like when blessings drop in. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah, let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
I emasculated my ex-husband 3 specific ways: control, criticism and comparison. I was in control of everything. I controlled how the dishes went in. If he loaded the dishwasher and it wasn't good enough, the way he was going to lead our team, it wasn't good enough. The way he managed everything wasn't good enough. Nothing he did was ever good enough. And then I let him know out loud, like I criticized everything that he did and told him how it should have been done better. And perfection was the standard that I held for him. So nothing was ever good enough, because I was comparing me and him. And I had this self-righteous view of myself that I knew the way and my way was better. And nothing he ever did was enough. And eventually it created a man that was apathetic, that was resigned to not do anything. Why should he show up? If I'm gonna redo it, or if I'm gonna do it better, or if he's gonna get criticized, why should he show up? And then that caused further division in our relationship, because he would say that he was going to do something and then just not. And it created this big void in respect. And where I got it wrong in the respect category was I was waiting for him to show up as perfect in order for me to begin to respect him. I didn't ever respect his effort. I didn't ever respect the progress. I didn't respect anything. And that caused
Hell of a Wednesday, y'all. Hell of a Wednesday. Salute. 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 Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the lounge. Welcome to the lounge. Welcome to the lounge. Welcome to the lounge. Look, y'all. Look. Yeah, look. Man, hell of a Wednesday, man. My Wednesday does been... It's been a long Wednesday, man. It's been a long Wednesday for real, man. But I'm glad that I'm able to push through it, where I could go ahead and give y'all this thought-provoking content today. Yes. Should have been such a hell of a Wednesday today. I even poured myself a one drink tonight, y'all. I poured myself a drink and everything, because it's just one of the Wednesdays where you just need to just chill out and pour a drink and just let Wednesday go on by. Let it do what it do. Let it do what it do. Salute to everyone who are in the lounge right now, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. Jug, I see you in the building. What's up with it? Like always. Sinner, what's up with it? Salute. Welcome, Sinner. Welcome. Clap. Yeah, welcome. Let me fix this real quick so we can see you, Sinner. There we go. And salute to each and every last one of y'all who are catching the show right now, or you're catching the repeat of the show. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all tuning in for this show tonight. So let's jump right into it. I got a question for the women, all right? And this is not pertaining to modern women, but this is pertaining to women, period, okay? Let me ask y'all this question. Do y'all want men to submit to y'all emotional ideology? Once again, do y'all want men to submit to y'all emotional ideology? Would you say that this question is true? Or would you say that this question is false? Once again, let me ask it. Do y'all want men to submit to y'all emotional ideology? Is this true? Or is this false? Speak. What's up with it, bro? True or false? True or false? Is this true or false? Because I am noticing this lately. Whenever I put out this thought-provoking content, or also whenever I decide to grace my presence on people on panels and we have conversations, other times, we have debates, right? One thing that I notice is this. I notice that instead of us coming to a a point, you know what I'm saying, a neutral point and understanding, the conversation always end off with the woman, want the man to agree with her emotional viewpoint. So then she asked me, what do you mean by this? I'm going to explain it to you. I'm explaining to you. So here it is. Whenever I'm either doing these shows or I, go on to other people panels and, we begin to have these type of conversations, right? I always notice that it be the women who always want the man to agree with their emotional ideology. This emotional ideology comes from, comes on the lines that, not all women behave a certain way. Not all men behave a certain way. You know what I'm saying? This emotional ideology, it also stems from, a form of feminism as well too, where they believe that, both man and woman is equal to each other. Different things like that. So when we have these conversations and we have this honest conversation, right, and we come to the conclusion that, hey, that current emotional ideology isn't necessarily true. Instead of just at least considering the possibility thereof, guess what? It'd be like, no. I want you to agree with my emotional ideology. The reason why I call it an emotional ideology is because during that time frame, the woman is not thinking logically about wherever the situation or the topic is. They're only thinking about how the way they feel about whatever is discussed. Right? And so therefore, they want the men to meet them there where they at to have that same type of feeling as well as she do. So do y'all believe that this sentiment is true or false? Because to be honest with y'all, me being a man who's out about my purpose, and different things like that, I believe that this question is absolutely false. Want y'all to think about that. I said it was false because I'm literally sitting up here trolling y'all. Because y'all know people who are part of the lounge, people who know me, right? They know the content that I put out. Y'all know good and damn well that I know that this question is true. Because like I stated earlier, I deal with this all the time. If I don't deal with it here on the lounge, when different women give me pushback on the lounge, I deal with it when I go onto other people's panels as well too. So women absolutely want men to submit to their emotional ideology. They want men to be an emotional simp. They want men to be an emotional pookie. They want men to be an emotional ray. They want men to not be a squirrel. They want men so they can control that said men. I had shared with y'all in the beginning this video, right? And this video was covering the whole concept about this woman. This woman was up here explaining to y'all how she was being toxic towards her ex-husband. Those of y'all who are coming in right now, I would gladly show you this video again so you can understand my perspective on this, all right? So I'm gonna share this video again with y'all so y'all can see where I'm coming from, all right? And we're going to build from this, all right? Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up.
I emasculated my ex-husband 3 specific ways: control, criticism, and comparison. I was in control of everything. I controlled how the dishes went in. If he loaded the dishwasher and it wasn't good enough, the way he was going to lead our team, it wasn't good enough. The way he managed everything wasn't good enough. Nothing he did was ever good enough. And then I let him know out loud, like I criticized everything that he did and told him how it should have been done better. And perfection was the standard that I held for him. So nothing was ever good enough, because I was comparing me and him. And I had this self-righteous view of myself that I knew the way and my way was better. And nothing he ever did was enough. And eventually it created a man that was apathetic, that was resigned to not do anything. Why should he show up? If I'm gonna redo it, or if I'm gonna do it better, or if he's gonna get criticized, why should he show up? And then that caused further division in our relationship, because he would say that he was going to do something and then just not. And it created this big void in respect. And where I got it wrong in the respect category was I was waiting for him to show up as perfect in order for me to begin to respect him. I didn't ever respect his effort. I didn't ever respect the progress. I didn't respect anything. And that caused.
Now, I want y'all to keep in mind with everything that she does said, or furthermore, I want y'all to consider everything that she said. She said that she did everything to emasculate her ex-husband. Now, the overall reason why she was doing this is because it dealt with her emotional ideology. She believed that she needed to be in control of this said relationship. She believed that it was okay to emasculate her ex-husband. She believed that it was okay to belittle him, even when he is trying his absolute best to satisfy her, to please her, to be the man that she wants him to be. She believed that everything she was doing at that moment was correct, but in reality, it's her emotional ideology. I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand that there are a lot of women out there, most women out there have this same type of emotional ideology where they want to emasculate a man. They want to be in control of the man. They want to be in control of the relationship by any means necessary. Hell, I'm going to throw it out here and say this. Even in my experience of being a content creator, right? I see women not only in different chats, right? But whenever, these content creators have panels or whatever the case may be, right? These said type of women will literally not only control the chat, but they'll literally control that said content creator content because it's something that they want him to do. Facts. I've seen male content creators, right, where, they want to talk about different things. They probably want to talk about religion. They probably want to talk about sexual relations. They probably want to talk about, red pill content. They probably want to talk about sports, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, right? That's what they want to talk about. That's the niche that they're interested in, right? But however, once when they start talking about that, guess what the women do? They say, oh, this is boring. I don't want to talk about this. Oh, you always be talking about us women. Oh, you never don't talk about things that we want to talk about. The Lord behold, they end up changing this said dude, content creator, whole niche into content where they want to hear it. They want to hear the drama. They want to hear the messiness. They want to hear the chaos. That's what they want. They want to hear conversations of you talking, half through your stream, talking about, sex and all this other stuff, because that's what they want to hear. It's not what you want to talk about. It's what they want to hear. And so you look at it, right, from a content creator perspective, and you like, what, if this is what they want, I'm just going to go ahead and oblige it, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to put out content. Not recognizing that them said women or women or whatever is literally using that emotional ideology to manipulate you into doing things that you don't want to do or things that you don't want to talk about. I do have to admit this. I do have to admit that women are very, very crafty and they're really, really good in manipulation. They really are. There are two forms of manipulation, by the way. There's positive manipulation where it can be beneficial. Then there's negative form of manipulation where the woman is manipulating that said man to get what she wants. This is part of this emotional ideology that I'm explaining to y'all tonight on this show. And so I'm asking the question, women, do you want men to submit to your emotional ideology? Let's be honest about it. True or false? And a matter of fact, after I finish breaking this thing down and we go through what we do in the show, I'm literally going to open up the call line. So I'm going to drop the link because I want to hear y'all perspective on this. I want to hear, do y'all agree with this or you don't agree with it? I want to hear why you agree with it, and I want to hear why you don't agree with it. Absolutely. So we're going to break this thing down. Salute to everyone who's in the building. I see you, Constance. I see you, Scorpio Mama. I see you, SBK. Salute, y'all. Salute. Now, Charlie's Angel, salute to you and your trolling account. But Charlie's Angel asks this. What woman are you around?
What?
Now, since this is a general question, I'm going to give you a general answer. The women that I'm around are women, period. That's who I'm around. I'm around women, period. If you want me to go in details about the type of women that I'm around, then I'm more than willing to go deep into that. But in general senses, what woman am I around? I'm around women, period. Let's answer your question in general sense. Let's do this. Y'all are familiar with Derrick Jackson, right? I'm pretty sure y'all ladies are. I'm pretty sure many of y'all ladies are familiar with Derrick Jackson because you know Derrick Jackson is the champion of beta males and simps.
Beta.
Right? So Derrick Jackson, he decided to come back on the scene again and do what he normally do as best, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to focus my attention on talking about Derrick Jackson a little bit. I want to show some clips about Derrick Jackson. I want to show some clips about, you know, what he's doing. And also I want to show some clips about what this dude is talking about. And all of this is going to fit into this whole category about women in their emotional ideology and why men do what they do. Okay? So make sure you hit that thumbs up. Side Patch, I see you in the building. So let me share with you what Derrick Jackson is currently doing right now. Okay? Let me share with you what he's doing right now, all right? So let's get it.
Love unconditional.
So on this particular clip, I don't know if y'all could see it or not, he is saying that after being divorced by his former wife, right, he's saying that he now is putting himself back into the dating market.
God damn.
By him putting himself back into the dating market, he is saying that he is nervous to go on his first date.
That's bullshit. I'm not asking just of you. And girl, to make it last, I'll do whatever needs to be done.
Now, I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand there's a reason why he do what he do. This man played the song Can You Stand the Rain purposely because he is trying to look for that type of woman who could stand the rain with him. All right? Want y'all to understand that. Now, let's get into the content that he been putting out. Y'all already know what type of content he's on, but let's listen to this. This particular content that he's putting out right now, he's saying this. A lot of men don't go to counseling. They just find a new girl who don't know how they be lying. And I want y'all to listen to what you got to say about this.
A lot of men won't go to counseling. Instead, they're going to go out here and find another girl who don't know how to be lying. Because it's easier to leave and find a naive heart than to stay and grow better habits. And it's funny because before that man left, he did everything he could to convince his ex she was a toxic one for identifying the toxic traits she wouldn't tolerate. Like when she said she needed consistency and refused to accept his excuses, he said she was being inconsiderate. Or when she withdrew sexually because he starved her emotionally and she didn't budge beneath all his guilt trips, he said she was being spiteful. Or when she clearly communicated what she needed more of from him, he said that she was nitpicking and nagging and being negative, instead of realizing these are all tools to better love her. If only he would be healed enough to accept them and then put in the work to use them. But nah, he wanted to quit on the job so he can go collect unemployment checks from a woman who wouldn't require any effort. And the crazy thing is, it rarely works out because most women are going to give the same grace period to a man in the very beginning. But to an immature man, it feels like he's getting away with all the games he couldn't play with his ex. But if this woman has even an ounce of self-respect, at some point it's going to be game over. And when it is, he's going to repeat the process all over again by hopping into a new honeymoon phase with another new woman to do it all over again. But of course, not before checking back with his ex to see if she's forgiven him, aka forgotten how he wasted her time the first chance that she gave so she could sign up for round 2. And this is why I say don't automatically believe your perception of your ex being so happy now that he's moved on to this new girl that he's parading around after leaving you with new wounds to heal from. It's just an opening act to the play that you've seen over and over again. But this new girl that he slandered your name to is probably thinking she's in for this mesmerizing premiere of this new and improved him only she could inspire. And in due time, she gonna realize it's just a rerun of the same horror movie he made you live.
I want y'all to understand this. Now, SBK, he said something real important, and that is so true. He said, at this point, who will ever listen to this dude again? Who? Bro, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but every woman is still listening to this goddamn simp.
What?
When I went on TikTok and went into his TikTok page and pulled this clip right, I looked at the comment section. Do you know in the comment section that every woman on there was agreeing with him? Every woman on there was saying, yes, call out these men, Derek. Yes, you're doing the Lord's work. Derek, you're doing the Lord's work. Derek, keep doing it. Do you know that the first clip that I showed y'all when he said he was nervous something going on today, do you know what them women said? Them women said, thank God that you are moving on from your damn wife.
What?
Thank God that you moving on for your wife because you deserve better.
That's bullshit.
Thank God that you are moving on because you deserve better, Derek, because that woman don't know a good man when they see him.
That's bullshit.
Kid you not. Kid you not. So even right now, still to this day, women are literally still thirsting off of this dude, regardless of him being a cheater. And he literally confessed to everyone that he was a cheater. Even when he did that, right? Even when he literally told everyone that, hey, I was out there in the street, I was doing inappropriate things to my wife, holding her hand and stuff, right? Trying to allegedly hold himself accountable. You know what them women did? Instead of holding Derek accountable, they hold his wife accountable. They say that she was the problem. They say that she was the problem because she was hyper spiritual.
That's bullshit.
Because she was too churchy. It was her fault. It was her fault because she was up here walking around not dressing appropriately where she could be attracted to him. That's what they said. That's what they said. So instead of holding Derek accountable, right, they simply held his wife accountable of things that was completely out of her control. And now this dude is parading on there and saying that, hey, he's getting right back out there in the dating market to do the same as that damn thing that he did in the past. And women are commending him on this. And once again, this is going to the point that I'm making on tonight on the show about women emotional ideology. Keep in mind, these said type of women know good and damn well that Derek is a simp. Knowing good and damn well that Derek is not the man that he say that he is. They know that. But yet and still, according to their emotional ideology, they agree with what he's doing. See, this is the difference between when a man uses logic and reasoning versus when women use their emotions. When they use their emotions, they allow their emotions to get the better of them every single time. Every single time. Without fail. And so I'm asking the question, why do women want men to submit to their emotional ideology? Or is it true or false that women want men to submit to their emotional ideology? On this channel, I'll be talking heavily about men's mental health every single time. Every single time I've been talking about men's mental health. Hey, y'all need to pay attention to men's mental health. Hey, we out here hurting out here. I'm telling y'all. Men's mental health. I had went on panels talking about men mental health. Whenever I went on panels talking about men mental health, do you know what was said? Women had told me that, yes, Urban, we care about men mental health. Yes, Urban, there is a problem with men's mental health. And I'm like, okay. So do you understand that it's actually the women who are causing men to have these mental health problems or these issues? That's when the emotional ideology kick in. Not all women, Urban, not all women. Or they'll say this, these men had it coming because of the certain decisions that they had made in the relationship. They had it coming. And so guess what that man had to do? That man had to literally adapt to the woman. Instead of him being who he is, he literally had to adapt to this woman emotional ideology. Hence the Derek Jacksons in the world. Hence the Steve Harveys in the world. Hence the Russell Wilsons in the world. Facts. What men have to literally adapt to their ideology. And y'all want to know why men decide to adapt to their emotional ideology? Want to know why? The reason why is that we want our damn peace and we don't feel like putting up with y'all bullshit. Because more than anything, we care about y'all so much that we don't want to put up with y'all bullshit, period. So we decide to have peace than anything. We're literally set up there, you know what? You got it. We're just going to adapt to it. And that's what men like Steve Harvey, that's what men like Derek Jackson is doing right now. And the sad part about it is that these type of men are a misrepresentation of the overall brotherhood. Whenever brothers like myself and other brothers as well too try to hold these dudes accountable, guess what y'all do? Y'all use y'all emotional ideology. Y'all say, no, Urban, no. You can't do that because that doesn't apply to him. Why not? Why it doesn't apply to him? Because you don't know him. You can't judge him because you don't know him or you don't know his situation. Use every little method to move the goalposts. Every method to move the goalposts. Instead of understanding our plight, understanding where we're coming from. Just so you can conform to this behavior. But here, check this out. What's even more fascinating about this is that the same said women who do this, who condone this behavior, right, is the same damn women who sit here bitch and complain about when these same type of men emotionally and physically abuse your ass. Did it be a square dudes that y'all call us, right? There be a square dudes who have to be the cleanup man and clean up this goddamn mess where we was trying to do it in the first place. But you wasn't allowing us to do it because you was using your emotional ideology. Every single time these said type of women would go for these dudes. Everyone that said that. I remember when being on SBK panel, he said, like, man, these women literally go for these type of dudes. Where we literally be giving y'all game on these dudes and telling y'all about these dudes. But guess what? Guess what? Y'all don't listen. Guess what? When we say something about it, right? Oh, we squirrels. We don't know what we talking about. We be selected last. So y'all select these dudes forward and literally be in a relationship for 5 to 7 years with these dudes. Not married, not even legally married to these dudes. Be in relationships with these dudes for 5 to 7 years and they be emotionally abusing you. They be physically abusing you, right? Then next thing you know, we got to be the cleanup man of the bullshit that y'all decided to do because of y'all emotional ideology. When we already told y'all the game. Gentlemen, am I lying about this? I know I'm not lying. But y'all go for these type of dudes every single time. Y'all do. Because of that emotional ideology. That let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Y'all don't want to submit to men. And when I say this right, y'all don't want to submit to the real men or the men that y'all call a square. Because you know them real square men, right, that y'all always talk about, right? Y'all know that them real square men ain't going to put up with y'all bullshit. Y'all know that. So that's why y'all go for these degenerate ass dudes right here. But let's call a spade a spade. Y'all don't want to submit to the square type of dudes. Because you know he ain't going to put up with it. But however, y'all were very, very quick to submit to these type of dudes right here, these Derrick Jacksons. These beta ass niggas.
Beta!
Y'all real quick to submit to these dudes. Y'all real quick to not only submit to these dudes, y'all give up y'all coochie to these dudes real quick. Y'all were procreate with these dudes. Y'all literally let these dudes use and abuse you. Y'all let these dudes eat up y'all goddamn fruit snacks. Eat up y'all kids on Honey Nut Cheerios and shit. Facts. Then we have to be the cleanup man. When you finally get back out into the dating market, we got to hear your emotional ideology. Oh my God, I was with a dude and he did this and that and that and that. Then you end up creating these emotional ideologies, unrealistic expectations with us. Well, these are my deal breakers. These are my deal breakers. My deal breakers that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, and you have to submit to me. Well, if you want me to submit to you, are you going to submit to me? Child, please. I'm not going to submit to you. My mama didn't teach me to submit to no man. But you want us to submit to you. You want to know what's funny about this also? What's funny about this is that, once again, these women want us to submit to them. This woman want us to submit to them. But they don't want us, but they don't want to do the opposite. Or remember this whole concept where they use on us, right? They use this simple talking point, right? Where they say, we're all equal, right? We're all equal. They'll say that we're equal. We're equal in a relationship. Okay. So therefore, if we're equal, right, that means that if if you want me to submit to you, by proxy of what you're saying about equality, right? That means you got to submit to me, right? Right? But the question is this: do women truly submit to that man, or do they just play a role in their emotional ideology? Furthermore, are they really submitted to that man, or is they simply manipulate that man to think that they're submitted to that man? This man sitting up here giving his all to this woman, while she's sitting up here giving the bare minimum. The bare minimum. The bare minimum. Is that a fair exchange? I think not. I'm going to get to the comments a little bit. Let me share this other clip with Derek Jackson. Once again, appreciate everybody tuning into the show. Troy Body, I see you in the building. Salute. Joe, I see you in the building as well. Salute to you as well, to everybody else who are catching this show and catching the replay. Salute.
Central nervous system, and then claim you always disturbing his peace, leaving out the part where he's the reason why you no longer have any of your own. He'll break your trust and then get mad that you always bringing up the past, when really you're bringing up his present day patterns that trigger the memories of the pain he caused. Or he'll say that you always got bad energy. Meanwhile, draining your energy with every invalidation in this exhaustive environment that he's cultivated by making you walk on eggshells. Or he'll break your heart into 1,000 pieces, then consider himself a changed man because he's trying to help you pick them up and glue them back together, but then cry if he cuts his hands on the shards of your resentment that you now feel towards him. And it's not to say that he doesn't feel discomfort lying in the bed that he made, but trying to reframe this whole thing as mutual wounding is just a manipulative tactic to manufacture injury to escape responsibility. Like, yeah, it's possible that you had a bad attitude or you could have given him more attention, but last time I checked, neither of those are a gun to his head that forced him to dishonor his own commitment. And whatever needs he's claiming that you didn't meet that led to his decisions, it's going to be impossible to meet now that he's broken you. It's like getting mad that your car doesn't start, so you pour sugar down the gas tank. Not only does it make things worse, it's stupid, which is exactly what he expects you to be if he thinks that his well-rehearsed victimhood can distract you from the very real damage that he deliberately caused. So nah, he had a choice between your pain and his prevention, and he chose to make you suffer due to his lack of discipline. He could have left if he was that miserable. So don't waste any more time watching his audition as the real victim while he tries to rewrite the script to make you the villain. Just cut his role, cancel the show, and get back to your regularly scheduled program of your piece before him and his BS made a guest appearance.
Now, keep in mind that once again, every woman had agreed with this clown for real. They agree with it. They cheered him on. They cheered him on. Every woman, and and some simps and some betas out there, they did too. They agree with what this clown was talking about. They really agree. But there's something that Senna has said, right? It holds value in this conversation. Senna has simply said that she said that he is talking about himself. He is simply talking about himself. And to be honest with you, I agree. I agree with that. He is talking about himself. Absolutely. Everything that he's talking about is the things that he did to his former wife. Everything that he did to his former wife, the emotional detachment, everything, he did that. So he's literally talking about himself, but he's packaging it in a way that this means that every man is resembling this type of behavior. That's how the way he's packaging it. But in reality, he no good and down well. That's not true. But women gravitate to that due to their emotional ideology. As long as the dude is following script, once again, as long as that dude is following script, then that woman is going to agree with it. No matter what. Even if that dude is toxic as hell, even though that dude is dysfunctional as hell, they are going to agree with it. Derek Jackson is the prime example of this. Facts. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit. So let's get into the comments, all right? And then we're gonna get to the second part of the show because I do want to review the show that Queen did last night, because this also ties into what we're talking about. All right. So let's get into one comments real quick. Let's see. Let me get some in here. Lionel say Urban is preaching. Salute, appreciate you, bro. Constance could have the good nigga, but she keeps going for the thugs. Let's see. Get out of my business, Lionel. Urban been on Hoodville. Troy say this. Some women are just like men. They are attracted to the physical. Gotcha. I just can't stand feminine complaining about the square dudes. Zigzag nag. Facts. Because they do. Females do complain about square dudes all the time. Oh, he's square. He's square. It be dudes who are such a beta ass simp that they be conforming into this emotional woman ideology where they be talking about the square dudes as though they better. Yeah, you're a square dude. I'm a better. How the hell you better than me, bro? Oh, well, shit, I did this and that and that. Like last night, what Buddy was saying last night, shit, I'm better because, I serve time in the pen. Like, nigga.
That's bullshit.
Troy say this, not all women are alike. In this particular conversation, Troy, yes, a lot of women have this same type of behavior, this emotional ideology that I'm telling you about. The reason why they have this emotional ideology is because it been inherited. Once again, this emotional ideology has been inherited. What do I mean by that? Their mother had taught them that it's okay for them to have this emotional ideology. Their grandmother taught them that it's okay for them to have this emotional ideology. Their aunties had taught them that it's okay to have this emotional ideology. Hell, even they gay ass, fruity ass uncles that taught them that it's okay to have this emotional ideology. So a lot of women are carrying this right now is because they're not aware of that they've been programmed to have this emotional ideology. Same thing with men, right? There are things that men do where we become toxic, we become abusive towards women. Not because that's how the way men are, that because we've been programmed to be that way. We've been programmed to be toxic through our fathers and our grandfathers. We've been programmed to be simps and betas and different things like that through our fathers and our grandfathers and cousins and different things like that. We've been programmed to be that way. But we're not aware of it. But the only way for these women to be aware of the problem is for people to tell them about it, to show them the truth about it. Hence, this is what Urban is doing on the show right now. I'm revealing the truth to y'all and letting you know that, hey, ladies, y'all have been manipulated and programmed to have an emotional ideology that is not beneficial for men, period. And y'all need a recalibration. And when I say recalibration, I'm not only just talking about going to therapy, because even when you go to therapy, you have to watch out for some of these therapists. You have to literally vet out some of these therapists to make sure that they get you on the right track to how the way you should be as a woman. That's facts. SBK say this deal breaker bras with 5 baby daddies on each hip. Facts. Lionel say this, not all women are alike until you challenge that and see that a lot are alike. Facts. Absolutely. Why are we talking about women? Trump just got rid of education and we are dissing our women? Really? Bro, first of all, this show is not even talking about no goddamn Trump. Second of all, to be honest with you, who the hell cares about what the hell Trump is doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Who the hell cares about that? Who cares? Why does that matter to you? Why do that matter what Trump is doing versus what's been talked about on the show? And here's another part too, bro, to be quite honest with you. You literally came into the lounge. You literally seen the title of the show. The title of the show simply say this: women want men to submit to emotional ideology. True or false? Anywhere in that title did you see anything dealing with politics or dealing with Donald Trump? I'll wait. Anywhere in that title did you see that? No. So that lets me to believe that you made a conscious decision to see this video, to see the thumbnail of this video, to see the title of this video, to click on to this video, to click it to the chat, to type this message in the chat, to make a conscious decision to put what you put in the chat, just so you could think that you can manipulate and control what's going on over here. Nope, that ain't work. This is what we're currently talking about. Now, do I talk about politics over here sometimes? Absolutely, I do. A matter of fact, this to be fair with you. So you won't think I'm picking on you. All right, this be really fair. You could go back into my previous episodes. Matter of fact, you could go all the way back to during the election. You could go all the way back to last year, and I think August or whatever. That's when I've been talking heavily about the election and stuff. So if you want to hear about political stuff, you could go back into my catalog and you can review my content about elections and political stuff and things about Trump and all the stuff to your heart desire. By all means. But tonight, that ain't what we're talking about, all right? Respectfully. Thrive say this: don't ever wish to even meet a man who wants to submit to a woman. SBK said, Troy, with all due respect, but if you don't like what's been taught, then yeah, you can get out. I mean, yeah. Then Troy said, bro, ain't facts. That's cool because it is facts to me. South Patch said this: so if men are truly equal to women, are you comfortable wearing panties? Question to the men. And to be quite honest with y'all, I know, fellas, I know this is something that y'all want Urban to just really cook on, but to be quite honest with you, in this situation, South Patch actually do have a very legitimate question. And I'm explaining to you why. Because in reality, South Patch is literally directly but indirectly at the same time revealing to you that there is no such thing as equality. There's no such thing as equality. Because why in the hell would a man would even want to wear women's panties unless that dude is either bi, he's gay, he's emotional, or anything like that, or something is wrong with him? Why would he want to do that? But any logical man know that he's not going to do that. So once again, her question literally is proving the point that we are not equal, because we don't do equal things. Since the man and woman is equal towards each other, we need to do the same equal things, where a man should wear a bra and panties just like the woman, since we're equal. We know that that's not true. We know it's not true. You know it's not true. Troy said this: guy, you're no Joe Rogan or Kevin Samuels. Absolutely. I am not Joe Rogan or Kevin Samuels. Thank you for pointing that out. I am Urban. Appreciate you. Then bro said, you sound like you submit to men. If that's what you want to believe, then by all means believe in that. That's your opinion. By all means. If that's what you want to believe. All right. So South Pat said this, right, Joe? Who wants a man that doesn't at least try to lead? And I agree with you on that. I agree with y'all on that. I agree. Because it is our divine duty as men to lead y'all. Absolutely. That's facts. At the end of the day, women do not want a weak man like this Derrick Jackson dude. They don't. They want a man who is about his purpose. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for. McConaughey said this, hello everyone, and Reverend Irvin. Women nowadays don't deserve black brothers. The brotherhood must fly through the horizons and run through the sunset with other cultures of women. See, I get what you said, because that comment that's dealing with, us getting our passports, right? And becoming a passport bro. Now, here's I said this before on my stream about it. I'm gonna let you know again about this. Now, the whole concept about the passport bro movement, right? I put it to this way: as long as you're doing it for a righteous purpose, that I have no problem with it. If you're literally doing it because you want to spread your horizons, right, and you want to see all type of women from all over the world, then by all means, get your passport and travel abroad, do it. But however, if you're doing it because you have been emotionally and physically abused by women over here in America, then no, you don't need to get no passport. No. What you need to do is handle your business first as a man, which is deal with your emotional trauma. That's facts. You need to deal with your emotional trauma first, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to end up traveling abroad, right? You're going to end up finding a woman. And guess what? You're going to bring all that toxicity into that woman, into that relationship. Then guess what? You're going to get all pissed off and mad because that woman is not going to want to put up with your bullshit due to her culture. Then guess what? You're going to sit up here and say that there's something wrong with that woman when there ain't nothing wrong with that woman. It's something wrong with you. So get your house in order first. Get your house in order first. Then when you get your house in order, then by all means travel abroad. Find that woman. You don't have to settle for women in America, whatever the case may be. Travel around the world to find the woman that you're looking for. But do it for the righteous reason. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Troy said this. He said, who hurt you? So, nobody. Jones, what's up with it? Salute. Appreciate you. They stay cheering this nigga on. All you need is one woman. Yes, they submit. New subject. No, I'm not changing my subject. Appreciate you. All right. So, blah, 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 blah. Sweet Rita said this. Every woman who, Lionel, I can't deal with a man that I can totally control. And I absolutely agree with you on that. Because once again, there are women out there right now that believe that the only way for their relationships to be successful with that said man is to manipulate and control them. Hence the clip that I showed to y'all earlier. A matter of fact, let me, I'll share this clip with y'all again. All right. So I'm going to share this clip with y'all again. Those of y'all who coming in. All right. I'll share this clip with y'all again. All right. Hold on.
I emasculated my ex-husband 3 specific ways: control, criticism, and comparison. I was in control of everything. I controlled how the dishes went in. If he loaded the dishwasher and it wasn't good enough, the way he was going to lead our team, it wasn't good enough. The way he managed everything wasn't good enough. Nothing he did was ever good enough. And then I let him know out loud, like I criticized everything that he did and told him how it should have been done better. And perfection was the standard that I held for him. So nothing was ever good enough, because I was comparing me and him. And I had this self-righteous view of myself that I knew the way and my way was better. And nothing he ever did was enough. And eventually it created a man that was apathetic, that was resigned to not do anything. Why should he show up? If I'm gonna redo it, or if I'm gonna do it better, or if he's gonna get criticized, why should he show up? And then that caused further division in our relationship, because he would say that he was going to do something and then just not. And it created this big void in respect. And where I got it wrong in the respect category was I was waiting for him to show up as perfect in order for me to begin to respect him. I didn't ever respect his effort. I didn't ever respect the progress. I didn't respect anything. And that caused.
All right, so check this out real quick. Check this out. Now, Troy also said this. Troy had on say this. He said there are tons of good women. Please stop this subject. This make black women sound bad. There are tons of good women and men. Troy, I want you to stop and think about this, okay? Think about this critically, all right? When in this show have I made this about race? I'll wait. When in the show have I made this about race? When in the show did I say that black women are the ones who are having this emotional ideology? I'll wait. Since we want to make this about race. According to the clip that I just played to you a few months ago, was that a black woman? Was that a black woman who said that she was literally sitting up here being toxic in her relationship? Was that a black woman who said that? Or was that not a Caucasian or a white woman who said that? Even in my title, right? In my title, where do you see anywhere in my title why I labeled it as black women? Is it because I'm a black content creator? Is that what it is? Are you being racist, bro? Is that what it is? Are you being racist right now? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Because nowhere in my title I said anything about black women. I said women, period. It don't matter the race. It don't matter the culture, anything like that. I said women, period. That's what I said. Now, to be quite honest with you, if you want to go there and talk about make black women bad, right? Let's talk about it for this one moment, just to entertain this ideology, all right? Right now, the said black woman that, you're literally sitting up here trying to simp for, right? You're literally trying to simp for them, right? You want to know what these same black women are doing right now? These same black women that you're trying to simp and protect, right? They out here twerking. They out here listening to Glorilla. They out here separate telling other women that it's okay to take advantage of black men. It's okay to go out on dates and literally use these men for their money and laugh about it and go on social media and talk about it later. These are the women that you're protecting, right? So I'm lying. These are the same type of women as yourself will go out there and literally simp for and try to protect, and that will put you into a toxic situation and literally get your ass whooped by another man. And guess what they're gonna do? They're not gonna pay your hospital bill after you got your ass whooped by another man. No, they're not gonna do that. If you were to be unalive about that same type of man, right? They're not gonna come to your funeral. They're not gonna pay for your funeral costs. Guess what? They're just gonna go on social media and say, "Oops, there go a man who protected me. Oh well, let me get back to shaking my ass." These are the same women that you're simping for and try to protect. These are the same type of women that I'm talking about that need to be held accountable on this channel. So just like I say, miss me with all that. Miss me with all that black ideology. Miss me with all that FBA stuff about black women. We need to be black. We need to stick together. No. Like I said on this channel is the Your Accountability, where we need to hold each other accountable. The same hardness that I do for black women, right? Where I go in on black women or women in particular, I do the same damn thing for the men as well too. Hence, Derrick Jackson. You want to know what's also interesting about this too? Is that these are the same type of simp ass niggas, right? They'll literally sit up here, simp for the woman, right? But they won't hold the dude accountable. I just played a clip of Derrick Jackson 3 moments ago. It would not hold this dude accountable. We're not holding him accountable. No one get aware of his history. No one get aware of what he's doing to the community. Same line. Won't hold him accountable, but when a man like myself hold him and these women accountable, oh man, you need to talk about some other stuff. FBA out of the way. Wild as hell. God damn. God damn. Wow. McCullough said this black brothers nowadays from Black Brotherhood must practice polygamy, polygamous relationship with other cultures or women's. Yeah, if that's what you want to do and you can handle polygamy, but hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. SBK said this, man, when dude said that last night, I darn near fell out of my bed, laugh. He showed that. We're going to review it tonight, y'all. Well, we're not done. We are definitely going to review it. We're definitely going to review that tonight. So, salute Pandora. I forgot your name. If I chopped up your name, I apologize. Ask this question. How are emotions ideology? Good question. Now, emotional ideology is something that I had coined. So this is something that you heard first at the lounge, okay? Just like I had coined, this is the year of accountability, all right? 2025 is the year of accountability. This is something that I coined here at the lounge, called it emotional ideology. Emotional ideology is this: when women do not use simple common sense in relationships to better progress their said relationship, they would rather do things based on their feelings and emotion, even when they know good and damn well that it could potentially harm that said relationship. That's emotional ideology, okay? And that's what we're talking about today on the show. But I appreciate you asking that question. I appreciate that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this. Shit, y'all been talking. Gail, what's up with it? Salute. Let me say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for y'all. All right. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for y'all, okay? Because I am very, very curious to hear what y'all want to say about this topic. Because I do want to play this on other video as well too, but I'm really more curious to want to hear what y'all got to say about this topic. And I'll just probably play this video another day, all right? But I'm really curious to want to hear what y'all got to say about this topic, all right? I really do. I really do want to hear it. I really do. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get the one call-in line open. I want to hear y'all perspective, whether you agree with me or not. And we're going to chop it up, all right? We're going to chop it up and we're going to have this conversation. Now, when we have this conversation, we are going to stick to the topic, okay? We're talking about women want men to submit to their emotional ideology, either true or false. Either true or false. Okay? We're not talking about no FBA bullshit. We're not talking about Donald Trump. We're not talking about none of that stuff. We're only strictly talking about the current topic that we are discussing right now. Y'all get y'all ass up here and start talking about some other stuff that not pertaining to what we're talking about. I'm dropping you. I'm going to drop you right then and there. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link for y'all online. I know you're still kind of busy, man, but, you know, we got to throw an audible on the show tonight, y'all. Got to throw an audible on here real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link because I want to hear y'all perspective on this. I really do. I really want to see how y'all feel about this conversation, all right? I really do. I really do. Because my stance on it is this. Women want men to submit to their emotional ideology. My stance on this is that this is absolutely true, that they do. Women do want men to submit to their emotional ideology. The reason why is because at the end of the day, these said type of women do not care about men's mental health. It's only about how the way they feel. It's only about them and them alone. Nothing more, nothing less. So yes, these women absolutely want men to submit to their emotional ideology. Do y'all know that there are men right now who have submitted to women emotional ideology, and these said men just sipped out and they literally got themselves locked up because they decided to submit to women emotional ideology? Like I once stated earlier, do y'all know that it's men out there, right, who literally simp to these women emotional ideology, right, where they felt like it was their job to protect a toxic woman, where they literally put themselves into situations purposely to try to prove if this dude is going to protect them or not. And this dude end up getting unalive because of this said woman. Do y'all know that that's happening right now? Do y'all know that even right now, due to women emotional ideology, do you know that there are countless of children who being unalive by these said type of women? What I'm talking about. These said type of women think it's okay to go ahead and abort children. These women believe that it's okay to enter into toxic relationship with these same dudes that I'm talking about right now, where these dudes end up either raping or molesting their daughters and sons. And then within the emotional ideology that they use, right, they'll say that, no, he's not the problem. You're the problem. It is your fault because you the one who decided to come out the room and dress a certain type of way and entice that dude. So it's your fault that he did that to you. You're not going to take away my meal ticket. It's women emotional ideology, right? Where they literally living their life within their children. Their life is literally dead and over. But they literally think it is a great idea, a fabulous idea to literally groom their children into a life that they didn't ask for, right? But they manipulated their children to live a similar type of lifestyle that they wanted. What I'm saying, there are women out there right now, these educated type women. Hell, it could be any women. It could be the educated ones, right? It could be the ones who are uneducated, right? They're literally breed their children to live their life to be on welfare and say that it's okay to be on welfare. They'll want to breed their children and they'll literally manipulate them, telling them that it's okay to find a type of man to want to solely provide for them. They say that it's okay for you to find a man so you could trap them into getting you pregnant. They say that it's okay for you to live my life that I wanted to live. Like my life, I want to be a PhD in a certain field, right? So they'll literally manipulate their children to go to school through all their different connections, right? Go to school so they could go to the same exact school that their children, where they went to in the past, right? Go to the same exact school, same exact college, same exact connections, so they could do the same exact career that they wanted to do, but they are living their life through their children. Same type of women who use this emotional ideology. And so when I ask the question, women want men to submit to their emotional ideology, it makes the answer to that question clear because it's true. It's true. Same type of women, the ones who are single mothers, right, who are raising single boys. Instead of them making sure that boy has a stable person in their life, right, where this dude is not toxic, not abusive or anything like that, right? Instead of putting him into that stable atmosphere, right, where he could be around with like-minded men, right, who are not abusive or anything like that, he could grow up and become the man that he's destined to be. Guess what they do? They would dismiss all that, right, and decide that it is okay for them to raise a boy. It's okay for them to raise a boy. I am that man where I believe with everything in me that a single one woman cannot raise a boy to be a man. I am that man to believe that a single father cannot raise his son daughter to be a woman. It takes the same gender to raise them up to be where they are. Keeping in mind that gender has to be of a sound mind. Facts. There are women right now with this emotional ideology. They believe that, no, that's wrong, Urban. I could raise my boy up to be a man. But this same man end up being a damn Derrick Jackson. This man end up being a damn Derrick Jackson where he's all soft, he's all hyper emotional because he's attached on to all that estrogen that you putting out. Then on top of that, you literally sitting up here raising this dude to be a damn boy husband. Raising this dude to be a boy husband. Where this dude is not only your son, but he's your husband at the same damn time. That's part of that emotional ideology. Facts, Gail. Son, husband. Absolutely. Son, husband. Absolutely. Absolutely. But they use this same ideology, right? Saying that it's okay. It's permissible. That is cool. That's why I say that it's true that they do this. It's true that they use emotional ideology. Then when an actual man challenged that ideology, right, guess what? Immediately that man end up being emasculated. Immediately that man end up get attacked, through different ad hominems. Oh, you must be gay. You must be a squirrel. You don't know what you're talking about. The biggest one that they use. Not all of us, Urban. Not all of us, but nope. Not this situation. Just like I told you earlier. Women in general, just about all of y'all, have been programmed to have this emotional ideology without you even aware of it. Because you've been so programmed to it, right, that it became a normal way of life. It literally became a social norm. So whenever a man like myself literally tell you that, hey, you're being manipulated and programmed into this is something that you need to change. No, I'm not going to change it. That's not true. Same as that concept with a man who is toxic. We live our whole entire life as being boys, being raised up with toxic men. And then we end up becoming men, right? And then we enter into the same relationship, being toxic as hell, right? Then here comes a woman telling us, hey, you toxic, bro. The thing that you're doing is toxic. No, it's not. It's not toxic. It's not toxic. When in reality, it is toxic. So all I'm doing, I'm sitting up here bringing out awareness that this is something that I'm seeing. I see it on social media all the time when I go on these panels, when I debate people. I see this behavior all the time, and this behavior needs to change. But the only way it needs to change is for people to recognize that it's an honest behavior that's happening. That's the only way change is going to happen is when people call it out for what it is. That's the only way. Then from there, you choose whether or not you want to either one, accept it for what it is, hold yourself accountable, and move forward or not. That's totally on you. But me as a man, how the way I am, right, I'm going to call it out for what it is. I'm definitely going to call it out for what it is. Now, since people are scared to talk to me right now, we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and share this stream with y'all, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and share the stream with y'all that happened on yesterday on this other content creator show. All you have to do is say no. And hush, Urban. I know you get ready to cook, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead and share the stream with y'all that happened yesterday on this content creator show. The content creator in question that we're talking about. This is on Queen to Queen. Okay, so those of y'all who are not familiar with it, by all means, sub up to the channel. We had an interesting conversation yesterday, and the conversation ended up going into a interesting direction. And I want to get y'all perspective on this. And this still going on with the topic about emotional ideology. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, not that. It's on the other screen. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. All right, let's go ahead and get into this particular conversation that happened on this panel last night. All right, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. And that relationship will not exist. We can't make y'all be in a relationship with us
because we don't want to have sex.
All right, so let me rewind it a little bit so y'all can get a little bit of context to what we're talking about. Okay. Women control all
Nancy
that.
says it is easier for men to find a good woman versus a woman to find a good man. Thank you.
Hey, I
He
agree.
ain't lying. It's easier for men to find a good
like
woman
I say,
versus a woman to find a good man.
women control the access to relationship and sex because all the women have to do is simply say no. That's it, and it's over. We can't force a woman to be in a relationship with us.
That's only controlling ourselves. That's not controlling a man.
That's controlling, Joe. That's controlling the dynamics of the relationship. All you have to do is say no, and that relationship will not exist. We can't make y'all be in a relationship with us.
Because we don't want to have sex is controlling a relationship?
No, both of us. She was saying that men control relationships and sex, but that's not true. Women actually control that, not us. Because all you have to do is simply say no, and that's it.
But a woman doesn't control a relationship. I mean, it takes two to control a relationship, right? I mean, don't you agree there?
No, it takes two to sustain a relationship. That's correct. Before some dictated whether that relationship exists or not, that solely is on the woman, not the man.
Queen.
That's not. I don't believe that. Hey, Lionel.
Queen, Joe, Urban, good evening, y'all.
What up?
Real quick. Joe, will you marry me? If you say no, you're literally determining the metrics of this relationship. I can't force you to marry me. I can't force you to marry me. All I can do is ask.
Correct. That is true.
So that's what Urban's telling you. That no dictates everything. And the women have more power in that no than a man does.
But a man has to ask in the first place. That's what I was trying to say when I started or when I came in. I'm not going to control. I'm never going to go.
Exactly.
But you've already controlled it at that point. You've said
you controlled it because you came to ask, right? So
now, in this particular talking point that Joe is talking about, I understand where she's coming from, and part of it, I agree with what she said too. So what she's saying is that she's saying initially, when a man approach a woman, we the one who initiate the whole interaction, the whole conversation, which in that particular sentiment, that's true. That's absolutely true. But what we're talking about is the whole dynamics of the relationship. Everything that happens in the relationship, men do not control that. The reason why we don't control that is due to women's emotional ideology. Meaning that, well, however that woman mindset is at after we done vet them out or whatever stuff, right? Wherever that woman mindset is at, we have to abide by that in that relationship. And if we don't abide by that, guess who is going to be the one who terminate the relationship? The woman. Well, if it's a relationship or even if you're married, If you don't abide by the emotional ideology that that woman is talking about, that she is going to divorce their relationship due to what? Irreconcilable differences. What is irreconcilable differences? Emotional ideology. That's pretty much what it is. Because we simply didn't agree with one another. Who didn't agree? Who didn't agree? It was simply because that woman didn't agree with the decision that the man wanted to do in that particular moment in that relationship. To the point that she was like, you know what? I'd rather just exit out this relationship and find some other down simp to deal with who's going to agree with my emotional ideology. Facts.
Beta.
But let's continue.
So
You're,
you had to make the first move.
you're literally controlling the atmosphere. That no controls the atmosphere.
Let me put it to you this way. Let's back all the way back. Let's go all the way back to dating. On the average, a woman wants the man to ask to go out on a date, correct? So if that be the case, we initially could do the initial meeting of the day, but it's up to that woman to either agree with that or not, correct? So if she say, yes, I want to go on a date with you, then it's going to happen. If she say no, then guess what? It's not going to happen. Meaning that she the one who's controlling that, not us.
That's just controlling the dynamic of that. It's not controlling the whole relationship. It's controlling whether it starts or not. Yes, I agree with that. But if you're already in a relationship, right? You have to already be in a relationship for something to be controlled, for a relationship to be controlled. You're talking about whether it starts or not.
Well, here's the thing. When y'all say start, Urban's literally telling you how the foundation got built, the first impressions, the initial reactions. He's literally telling you everything that starts the situation that's going to end up shaping it. So if it's already being
Right.
I do agree with you there, because I think I've mentioned before, I did learn that, and this is when I was married, I did learn if I was out and about and I'm with my husband, I know how I can control the dynamic of a man stepping up to me or approaching me. As a woman, if I look down and I don't give you eye contact, a man is never going to come across and speak to me. So yes, I know how I can control somebody even stepping up to me or not. I agree there.
So I get all of that. I get all of that. The point I was making when I say the men control the relationship at times is that women tend to, I'm not gonna say all women, but a lot of women
My bad, I forgot I was muted, y'all. Damn. I forgot I was muted like I had nothing. My bad, y'all. So real quick, I do want to share this. All right. So when I went back and watched this on stream again, right? I went back to get an understanding of what Queen was talking about. Okay. So this is what Queen was talking about. She was saying in her particular scenario, right? She wanted a certain thing to happen with her husband, and it just didn't happen. It was a situation to where she wanted this type of attention from her husband, and he just did not give it to her the way that she wanted. And so she ended up acting like a spoiled brat. I'm calling it for what it is. She ended up acting like a spoiled brat and started pouting and different things like that. Hence, that's what created this whole conversation, what she's talking about right now. All right? So her viewpoint is this. Her viewpoint is that she believed that men control that is because if a man say no, then it means no. Okay, to him. But in reality, he is not controlling the relationship. All he doing is controlling a decision that he made. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If he's saying no, then he's simply saying no. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, if Queen were to start becoming manipulative in that moment, said that, well, if you don't give me what I want, then X, Y, Z is going to happen. Y'all know what I'm talking about, ladies, where you'll literally sit up here and give an ultimatum. If you don't do what I want you to do, then you're not going to get none of this coochie. say some crazy shit like that. You ain't getting none of this coochie. Or they'll say, you're going to want to sleep on the couch tonight. Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
But that goes back to what I'm saying about the emotional ideology of women, where they literally are controlling the overall dynamics of the relationship. Now, if Queen really wanted to get that dude to do what she wanted him to do, she could have. And that dude would have simped out and did it. Because women plays on men pride, women plays on men ego, women also plays on men emotional part of how the way we care about them. When we really care about a woman, we literally do love women unconditionally. So we do be one of the best for that said woman. And then we feel some type of way through our pride and ego if we can't produce that certain type of result from that woman to make her feel a certain type of way. So women play on that type of emotional, which is it's a emotional ideology that they use. It's a play that they use. Absolutely. So I wanted to share that part. Those of y'all who want to go back and watch the stream, my moderators drop Queen to Queen channel. Those of y'all who know she is, drop her channel. You can check out her stream. But I want to fast forward to another part here, and this is going to go to the part I was saying earlier about how the way, men out there, be simping and all kind of stuff, all right? And so I'm going to fast forward to this particular part. And Lionel, I'm not going to play this part about Buddy sitting up here getting all toxin and, you know what? The hell with it. I ain't going to play that part, because it's going to prove a point, all right? So let me get to this part, all right? But we're going to get to this part of the conversation, and I want y'all to listen clearly to what this gentleman had to say about this conversation, all right? And this is going to prove my point about this emotional ideology to the point where they literally manipulate men to believe in their same ideology and thinking that it's okay and thinking that it's cool. But let's go.
She says bark, he barks.
But he's
You should
still
pay this instead of that.
right. But it's still his choice to allow that to happen.
Again, you're going off of a simple choice, where I'm going off of a continuous mentality. The continuous mentality has already shaped the dynamics of his relationship.
Why do men put so much on black women to adjust to black men who are really inferior in their thinking?
Don't that sound familiar, y'all? Don't that sound familiar to y'all? Wasn't Buddy in here earlier saying the same exact thing, talking about why do black men put black women down? The whole FBA type talking point, right? Don't that kind of sound familiar?
Meaning that most of us black men have had mothers. Even, let's say, the fathers are absent. The black woman has always been backbone of the family. So why do black men now attack black women? What I mean is the black woman should always give the benefit of the doubt. The black woman...
Who has the mentality, though? If you're being manipulated by this woman, who has that ball, dude?
Black men are never
choices.
But black men are never manipulated by a black
Nico,
woman.
salute.
Only weak, codependent black men feel like they've been manipulated. That's why I don't understand these new age black men who've never been to prison, for real, who never did anything in their life. They are like homo thugs, meaning like you get all your mama raised you. So you look at black women like your mama wasn't shit.
And so this is getting to the point that I'm talking to about right now, about the emotional ideology. See, this emotional ideology manipulate men like this dude, right? Now, through us having a conversation with this dude, we had learned that this dude was locked up, that he was locked up in the penitentiary. And so through this conversation, we had learned that this dude believes that since these other dudes like myself and other men, since we never been locked up a day before our life, we never got in trouble, or anything like that, let alone we may got like a speeding ticket every now and then, but we never served time. This dude and other men just like him, because it was proven earlier in the chat, other men just like him, they honestly believe that they are the cream of the crop. They honestly believe that they honestly are the cream of the crop because they've been locked up, that they know more. But riddle me this. If you're being locked up for this said period of time, right, and you're being locked up in this cage for this certain period of time, how in the hell do you know what's going on in everyday life? How in the hell do you know the plight that the men who are out here right now are dealing with? You know what I'm saying? With emotional ideology from these women. How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that's going on when you're locked up? The only way you could possibly know is that every now and then, if you have good behavior, right, they'll allow you to look at a little TikTok. They'll allow you to look at a little YouTube, right, or a few little clips and stuff, right, and you look at a certain podcast and you see some of these literally beta dudes talking about this, right, and you want to believe that this the whole consensus. No, not at all. Not at all. It is not a flex at all to sit up here and brag that you've been locked up in prison thinking that you're better than everyone. It's not.
And your daddy's, you niggas talking about your daddy's absent, okay, but the mama was there. The mama was there, or the grandmama was there. See, a black woman needs a strong black man. Okay, she got problems. She got character flaws, all of that. But why is so much put on a black woman when the black grandmama, the black mama was there when the nigga wasn't shit? The daddy wasn't shit. Like y'all said, they was on drugs and homo, whatever y'all said about black men. But there's a lot of strong, good black men who was providers. Most of you niggas talking about a black woman ain't shit. You niggas ain't providers. Ain't never love a black woman. And guess what? Can't get a high caliber black woman. You know why? Because high caliber black women look at y'all niggas as weak. Y'all some weak niggas always attacking black women. Historically, y'all saw some indoctrinated, brainwashed, coon dog ass, slave ass niggas who work in the best interest of white supremacy. Look at the world now. Y'all tear the black woman down. Shit, give her the benefit of the doubt. She got fucking 3 or 4 kids, a no good ass nigga, and y'all always say history don't mean shit, but the elders are the reason why you niggas still breathing.
Connor, salute. Welcome to the show. Connor did ask a really good question, and I want to announce her. Connor asked, why can't women just accept men, or men just like men accept that women are women? Now, here's the answer to the question, okay? The answer to the question is this. There's a virus that is happening in the community. Now, when I say community, I'm not talking about just black community. I'm talking about community as a whole. Okay? In this country, in America, there's a current virus that is going around right now. This virus is named gender war. Okay? So what this virus do is this. This virus is skillfully designed to create separation with men and women. How the way this virus create the separation between men and women is through these 2 main points. It's through the patriarchal system and it's through feminism. Okay? So the reason why it's hard for us to accept this is simply because we don't want to acknowledge that the damn virus exists. We want to pretend that everything is okay when it's not okay. We want to pretend that we all are nice and healthy and we're, living the life the way that we want to live and different things like that, right? We want to pretend that that's what it is, but it's not. This is no different from a person who has cancer, who have HIV, or have these other type of illness, and they literally sit here trying to pretend that they're healthy, knowing good and damn well that they're not healthy, knowing good and well that they are carrying a sickness within them. Don't want to take accountability and accept the reality and the fact that this thing exists. In this situation that I'm telling you right now, the reason why it is what it is because people do not want to acknowledge and take accountability that this thing is existing. That is happening right now. Now, as a skillful doctor, right, you know what doctors do? Doctors acknowledge what type of virus that they're dealing with, right, so they can treat it. And I want y'all to think about that. So men like myself, right, when I'm talking about this, right, I'm not talking about it just to get clout and content. I'm talking about it because I'm letting y'all know that this virus exists within us, right, and it's time to hold ourselves fucking accountable. It's time for a change. But you're not going to change if you don't know that you're sick. Like I was telling you earlier, that there are women out there who have this emotional ideology and they don't even aware that they have this in them. They don't even aware of it. They didn't allow this virus to lay dormant in them for so long that it does become a way of life to them. But I'm here to let you know that it exists. And then not only exists, that there is a treatment and a cure for it. The treatment starts off with acknowledgement that it is what it is, and accepting it for what it is. The treatment for it is accepting accountability for what it is. The treatment for it is to allow rehabilitation so you could be healed from it. That's what it is. God on his truth. God on his truth. But let's continue.
The elders, all those black men, there's a lot of black men that was somebody. That's the reason y'all can talk to today. The old vanguard, for the Black Panther Party to every other revolution organization, you niggas will never said shit at all about the black woman. Because the black woman is the mother of the black civilization. But y'all talk about her like she ain't shit. Like she owe you niggas something. Y'all some weak, broke back, slave ass niggas who didn't even love your goddamn mother grandmothers. If anything, y'all build the black woman up, not tear her down like she owe you something. She gotta suck y'all different fucking back because y'all somebody. Prove the black woman you worthy of that fucking kingship that you niggas.
Lionel, salute. Welcome to the show, bro.
Yo, what's good?
Oh, so you know how it is working?
Bro,
Cooking.
you be sounding like a preacher when you up here going on, man.
Hey, I try to be me, bro. I try to be me.
Got me feeling like I'm in church.
Hey, you catching the Holy Spirit, bro?
I'm trying not to, man. I gotta walk away.
Facts,
Can't have
facts,
that going into work.
facts. So,
But
go ahead. What you got on the show, bro?
very interesting hearing him talk, but at the same time catching that Derek Jackson video, because I saw that video last night, and it was like, that's very interesting hearing both of these opinions, mainly because when you hear men like this talk, they're giving that perspective to the women. They're essentially telling us to give control to the women, to bow down to the women, to pander, to simp, to need the woman. It kind of comes off like they're telling us men to be like the corner girls on the street, make the money just to give it to our pimp wives.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's essentially what they're saying. Move hand and foot for the woman. Listen to her opinion. Worship her opinion. Worship the ground she walked on. But then, in the same vein, we're going to say we're supposed to be the men. We're supposed to be the leaders. But yet when you're listening to them, that's not what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
They're absolutely not saying that. Now, I remember a dude last night was trying to talk in paradoxes. But this isn't a paradox. This is straightforward. Because the way these guys talk is how these women talk. The white woman from earlier. That's how these women talk.
And notice, ladies and gentlemen, he is not making this about race. He said a woman, period. Oh, also, line one, SBK asking, what is a paradox? What was a paradox, bro? Because that was
A
term he was
paradox
using.
is essentially something that's true and false simultaneously. Just to give you the quick version of it.
So
And
in this conversation, right? How is both is true, but with this conversation y'all was having, how is that both true and false at the same time?
it's not. That's where I was listening. I'm listening to him. I'm trying to figure out what is he talking about. How? Because women are literally chaotic. They are chaos incarnate. They thrive on it. Even the peace-loving women will sit here and say, I don't like that. I don't deal with that. And then let them talk. Just let them talk. And you'll hear just how chaotic they are. They always give it away. There was no paradoxes being spoken. It's just what the reality is.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
That
Yeah,
white lady from earlier, that's how women speak.
yeah, SPK, I knew you was being funny. Oh yeah, you go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that there was no paradox. It is what it is. And he was using it the wrong way because it came off like he was trying to say we were right in some aspects, but he just didn't want to really admit it. But then the more he listened, the more he saw how full of shit a lot of these women are, but he didn't want to admit it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but in the grounds of this context, you listen to all that crap Derek Jackson was saying. I agree. Sound like he was talking to himself. Excuse me.
Yep. Absolutely he was.
But yet, what did you see? I saw what you saw. Whole streamline of comments, a whole billion woman march, and a couple men just agreeing with him. What are y'all agreeing to?
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna sit here, like in this chat, you have women saying, I don't want a man like that. You're saying women don't want a man like that. Them comments are saying something different. They're saying they want a nigga that they can slap around, that they can tell what to do, that they want to fold to their ideology.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Dude got like 500,000 views plus. So you have that versus just a few. Hold on.
Yeah, while you doing that, I'm go ahead and play this video further, right?
You niggas won't. You niggas don't even know how to even interact with a black woman because you niggas always think black women should care to y'all niggas. Show the white man y'all somebody. Because the white man ain't got respect for the black woman because you niggas are broke. You niggas are slaves. That's what a white man disrespects the black woman every fucking day. There's a lot of black women out here ain't doing shit for their life. Yes, we give it that. Because we wasn't there, like you said. You niggas said that the black man wasn't there. So now you be there for the black woman in the white America. Because you niggas forget, y'all still live in white America now. You defend the black woman. You build her up. The baby's mamas and shit like that. You make sure you provide for your kids. The black women who go astray, okay, so be it. You be the vanguard. You motherfuckers in the vanguard, the black woman. The black woman lost respect for black women because you niggas don't protect her. But guess what? The white woman get
So let
protected.
me ask you this, brother. Let me ask you this. This is the top. Mine is going in and out too. Let me ask you this, and I know you can hear this. Do you think in control of the relationship?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that I said what I said, and there was other women as well too. I think I said pulled up in here for a little bit. Shout out to you. But yeah, her and other women, when this dude was talking, they believed that this dude was cooking like ain't nothing. But this dude was not cooking at all.
They sitting here like champion what he's saying. Like it's the Derek Jackson effect all over again, or the Steve Harvey crap. They're just champion what he's saying because he's putting them on a pedestal. And yet they're gonna sit here and say, it's not all women that are bad. A lot of us are good women. A lot of us don't do what these women do, but y'all don't hold them accountable. Y'all damn sure don't hold them accountable. I gotta say it. Like SBK, your sis, she'll sit here, and when we hold some of these women accountable, these ratchet women, ratchet behaviors accountable, she gives them grace. How are we holding these women accountable?
Facts.
Like, when the women are so busy saying, hey, you chose wrong, or you should have found another woman, we don't hold the women accountable then. And so if y'all don't hold the bad women accountable, the ratchet women accountable, how are we going to get better? How can you help these guys make better choices? Because all y'all are saying is, hey, it is what it is. Quote unquote, a real man should have dealt with it. Because y'all love the connotations. This guy right here putting women on a pedestal, he not helping the situation. He gonna tell you, yeah, there's a few bad seeds in the. But at the end of the day, he's speaking for the majority. And he's saying, hey, the majority of y'all need to be worshipped, celebrated. Anything bad y'all done, ignore it, because y'all went through so much. Y'all deserve the grace. Y'all deserve to have anything negative ignored. What type of toxic shit? And then the women cheering it on. You feed into this shit. Crap, my bad. You feed into this. So again, how are we going to get better? I don't think the women want better. I think the women want this toxic environment. That's what I think.
So ladies in the chat, that's a good question. Do y'all honestly want change for not only yourself, but for your as y'all call y'all kings, your men in your life? Do you honestly want change, or do you want chaos to continue to happen in your life? Do you want chaos to continue to happen, even on these social media outlets, like YouTube and Facebook and all this stuff there? Do you want this chaos to continue, or do you want to stop once and for all? What do y'all think? SBK, he said this, man, if it's wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong. No grace given here, facts. So I'm the same exact way. I'm going to call it for what it is. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And that's...
But SBK, that's you. That's not your sis. That's not the women that you're around. This is keeping it 1,000 now. The women you're around do not hold these women accountable. They're definitely not following your example at all. They give grace. They twist it around and be like, you made the choice. They maintain the status quo of this toxic femininity. Just keeping it 100. My bad, Urban.
Oh yeah, yeah, you good. Yeah, you good. Now Scorpio, she said that she won't change from both. And to be honest with you, that's what all of us should be striving. We all should be striving to have positive change in our life, period. But if we're not acknowledging that this is an issue, this is a problem, then it's going to continue. This behavior is going to continue throughout the generations and generations and generations, to be quite honest with you. It's not going to stop.
How many times y'all want the men to change?
Yeah, Zach. Here's another thing too. I want to follow up with SBK coming. He was saying that, man, if it's wrong, I'm going to say this wrong. No grace given here. Here's the other part about this. Men will most definitely hold men accountable. We'll most definitely do that. If we call it for what it is, we're gonna call it for what it is. Even though Buddy, you know what I'm saying, on this panel, he was way out of pocket on what he was talking about, right? Even though he was doing that, at the same time, I could commend him on being a man, because in his weird way, he was trying to hold us accountable. Once again, in his weird way, he was trying to hold us accountable. So I have to commend him on doing that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what men do. But on the other hand, when they deal with women only hold women accountable to a certain extent. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Once when they reach that certain type of boundary or whatever, that's it. They're not going to hold them accountable no more. They're going to champion it. They're going to want to condone the behavior and everything. But with us, now we're going to call for what it is. Even if we hurt your feelings, we're going to tell you straight up how the way it is. You go ahead, Lionel. Then after that, I'm going to play the video.
No, I mean, y'all said, it is what it is. Like, how many times do y'all want the men to change? It sounds like the men keep changing. The women made one huge shift and just been on that wave since then. Hence why we talk about the different waves of feminism. But all that stuff does is just keep progressing. You got the men been changing for the last 40 years. Sound like every decade these niggas are changing. So how much more do you want the men to change? Because when I hear women saying they want men to change, it sounds like the men aren't obedient enough. Because that's how they talk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But let's continue with this. One other thing that I do want to point out on the stream. Well, on this particular stream with Queen, right? Buddy was sitting up here talking about that we need to protect the black woman and stuff, right? We need to protect black women. But at the same damn time, this dude was sitting up here literally being disrespectful and controlling this panel. He's literally being disrespectful, controlling the panel, talking about something that it wasn't even what we was talking about at all, period. So we got to call that out for what it is. All right. If you're saying you want to be respectable and protect that woman, then you got to respect the decorum of the platform. That's where it starts at. It starts with you having emotional intelligence. But unfortunately, that's one of them things that, men like himself, they have to want to work with. They have to work with developing that emotional intelligence, especially after being incarcerated. All right. But let's continue the video.
I think it's co-rulership. I think when a black woman meets a black man she's compatible with.
Did you hear me? Did you hear
Say
me,
it again.
Junior?
Say it again. Say it again.
So I'm kind of fast forward this.
Options. Every black man want a dime piece. Man, fuck the dime piece. Black men must own their shit, but black women at the same time are put on a pedestal, meaning that, okay, the white man's already turned them down. Here these niggas go talking about,
No, we're letting you finish your thought.
No, go ahead. I can't hear you, so let the brother say, 'cause I can hear him. The only thing, my thesis is here. Black men need to start defending black women. They don't have no goddamn, like the brother said early. about us elders. We wasn't there. True. You know, but we wasn't child molesters. You know, there was some, but
No,
overwhelmingly,
it's definitely a lot more than you think.
no.
It's definitely. I literally do
Okay,
abuse cases in history.
Amos M. Wilson, since you ain't studied shit, because you didn't really study shit. Amos M. Wilson, one of our greatest black scholars, broke down black on black violence and best white supremacy. The white man is incarcerated at a higher rate than black men.
See, Amos Wilson and them don't have nothing to do with this conversation, even though I know what he's talking about. But once again, it didn't have nothing to do with this at all, period.
And for child molestation.
Dude, do you not understand how many young girls are being told by their mothers to shut up about this? Do not speak. Their black mothers or black grandmothers. Do not talk about this.
Okay.
Do not slam me on this one.
But what about you? Was you ever
what the
molested?
reality is.
Was you ever molested?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've talked about it openly.
Okay. So now you're trying to say in the best interest of the black community, you brought to everybody's attention. Are you trying to say on the situation you're in, because breaking the chains of psychological slavery, because how you talk in the best interest of white people, because I'm gonna tell you the reason why. That child molestation shit goes in the white community too. So why you are not on that
So
channel?
we're not talking about them. We're talking about the black people.
Okay.
You're trying to shift it over, keep it on the black man.
So are you saying that black women in general ain't shit? Are you saying you weak ass niggas who didn't kill the child molesters ain't shit? Because you're a coward. Because you know why? You knew who molested you, you knew who raped you, and you do a goddamn thing about it, but blame black women. That's all the fuck you did.
When did I say that?
You said that.
I know you're not putting words in my fucking mouth now.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna put nothing in my mouth.
Okay.
So you're gonna come correct.
Who raped you? Did you press charges?
No.
Can you
Why
guys
not?
hear me?
Why not?
We can hear you.
Why didn't you press charges?
Because I was 3 years old.
So now that you're older now, why you do nothing about it? Now
I am doing stuff about it by helping other people.
No. So I can tell that you bougie. That means you knew who molested you, you knew who raped you, you didn't press no charges, and you ain't killed
nobody.
How
you're assuming
No.
And you don't know shit.
You know who raped you. You knew. What did you do about it as a black man, except for blaming the black woman?
I'm literally helping the black women.
How?
You're talking about what? I'm literally helping
You were the one. You were the one molested.
You don't want to listen.
Guy's still walking around. Listen me out. You were the one that molested as a black man, because a black woman looked at you. You were the one. You knew who molested you, and you didn't do shit about it but blame the black woman. Is he dead or in jail? Because you didn't know about it but blame the black woman about it. Because a man, as you say, was molested. You knew who he was. You knew as you grew older, you knew who he was. No investigator, no scientific research, but you didn't do nothing about it at all, but blame the black woman for not protecting you. Now you can protect yourself.
Hold on, I did not blame anyone for not protecting me. You put that in my mouth. Again,
my question to you,
words in my mouth.
Why do you held that?
No. I can tell you don't fucking know anything.
Why?
So how about you just listen before you start making damn?
Why didn't you take care of that problem? No, listen. Why?
I'm literally telling you, I'm helping.
Hey, Constance, like when this was happening, right? The same type of facial expression that I'm showing y'all right now, that's the same facial expression that I was having when I was a cam up over there. I was looking the same exact way. I was looking the same exact way.
I can't hear what he's saying.
No, he's on the. Oh, okay. So he's on the part now to where he said that it was your responsibility to go after the dude who molested you.
Oh.
Yeah, molest you and stuff, right? It was your responsibility to go after him, right? It was your responsibility to either get him either in jail or to literally kill this dude. And he's asking you why you didn't do that.
I'm in a better mood tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why this conversation was happening, right? I was making facial expression. I like, man, Lionel. I'm just waiting on Lionel to tag me in at any moment so I could go ahead and cook this dude. I'm just waiting, so I'll just chill. Like I'll let Lionel do what he do. I'm gonna let Lionel do what he do, so I go ahead and cook this dude and put him in his place. But let's continue.
Man that molested you, the man that molested you, right? Why didn't you handle that? You as a black
Listen,
man.
So we are going to
Lane. Why didn't you handle the man that molested you? When you got older, you older now. So now you're saying that you were molested. So you know exactly.
He's saying he's helping by helping other people.
No.
In his literature,
No, he already said that doesn't matter.
Stop.
He already said that doesn't matter.
No. I'm making it personal right now. If someone molested you, I'm not talking about women at all, literally at all. That's a diversionary tactic. The man that women though. No, hold on. Hear me out now. I'll make sense. The man that actually molested you, that you're aware of, you knew who was, no literature at all. He violated you. Why didn't you handle that as a black man? That's my question to you. No jail time and no street shit.
And once again, you're making the incorrect assumption. No, because you're making an incorrect assumption and you're going to keep talking, speaking ignorant. If I would have said, yeah, I know the nigga, I would have said something. I never said that shit. So you're making an incorrect assumption. You can't sit here and be talking like a dumbass on a situation you don't know nothing about. I told you the fucking reality.
White man or black man?
It was a black man.
Why do you know? So who was he then?
The abuser, Junior. We're getting off topic. He said he does not know the abuser, Junior. That's what he's
a liar then. He's a liar. Who was it? Your cousin, your uncle? If you don't know the abuser, how do you blame black man then?
Because I was born to an 11-year-old girl who got kicked out by her mom and we lived on the street. You don't know shit.
West side, east side. West side, east side then. What's on the east side?
I was in the west side of Baltimore City.
Okay, you west side, right? So you argue about a case.
No, I'm on the east coast.
How do you lump all black men in? My question, how do you lump all black men into the black men that raped you then?
Dude, because I've done my research. I've gone to help people.
No. You a liar, man. You cannot.
Why are you calling me a liar when I'm telling you about my life?
I'll tell you why you love. You just so many black men. You're one of those black men who allow women to get a fault. There were so many black men who wasn't molesting kids. Hold a minute. There were so many black men who wasn't doing that shit, man. There was so many. There were so many black men who wasn't doing that.
Now, keep in mind that his whole claim was that he's up there to protect the black woman. If he's up there to protect the black woman and represent the black woman right, why is he not following the decorum of the conversation? Why is he not using emotional intelligence to understand that he's way off subject, talking about something that it don't need to be discussed? Who his accuser is doesn't matter in this conversation. Whether or not his accuser got, prosecuted or not, it's not the point of this conversation. Where he lived at, what block he's from, is not the point of the conversation. It's not. But let's continue.
No, he's trying to turn to.
This is not what we're doing.
Tell me about the black men who was doing good for their family.
Oh, it's this.
We're not talking about the black men and molestation. We're talking about dating, and we're talking about who has the better option. That's what we're talking about.
Black women do. You know why they do? Because they can read these niggas rightly. A black woman is a queen. She's ISIS. She's always been able to pick through the niggas of low caliber.
Let me say this real quick, and I'm just going to burst a lot of y'all women bubbles, okay? Since this conversation is preferably talking about the queens, the black queens, all right, or this black women, all right? The bubble down fist and burst is this. Not all of y'all are considered as queens, okay? Y'all not queens. Just as the same thing about men. Men are not kings, okay? Not every man qualified to be a king. Just like not every woman qualifies to be a queen, and that's facts. So y'all miss me on this bull crowd going around talking about, oh, our black African queens. No, not every woman is qualified to be a queen. I'm not going to sit here calling down Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion or these fast-ass women out here queens when they're not. When they don't even resemble the behavior of a queen. They resemble the behavior of a damn concubine. So riddle me this. How in the hell a concubine could be a queen when her role is to be a concubine? Was she going around, horning around and stuff? How is she a queen? She's not a queen. She doesn't qualify to be a queen. Just like dudes out here don't qualify to be a king. Like niggas like Derrick Jackson and stuff, he don't qualify to be no king. No. Not at all. So miss me with all that. For real.
They gonna say it's a mentality, Urban.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna say, Lana. It's a mentality. It's a mentality. You know, they're just, man.
Problem is that she settled for less. The black man has the goddamn problem, just like him. If they always attack black women as though they're less than, they're not.
Come at me if you don't know me. The queen thing go back into the mentality thing, the ideology.
What you say, Lana?
Doesn't the queen thing go into the ideology that they're trying to shape?
Facts. The emotional ideology, yep.
Because they want to be called queens more than they want to call a guy a king.
Yep. That's an interesting point.
Sitting here speaking bullshit. You know damn well that's not who you talking to. So you better come to another nigga for that shit.
I want trouble for real.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I want trouble. You know why?
I ain't the nigga that have a problem.
I read you already. I know how I read you because you've never been locked up. Most niggas have been locked up and did some real time for homicide. They understand how we mistreated black women.
I'm glad I'm not an ignorant nigga that was locked up.
You are. You know why? Most of us understand that we mistreated black women. We left the black woman unprotected. We left her unprotected. So we come out in the street.
How have I mistreated the black woman? Because you want to.
Hey, at this point when he was saying all that, man, I was like, in my mind, I was like, Lionel, please be quiet so I could cook this dude. Please shut up so I could cook this dude, because I am ready. I am ready to be tapped in for real. I'm ready. I am so ready.
I got to go back and listen to myself.
Yep.
You know how these women love to say how I be sounding angry? That was like the first time y'all have heard me sound angry.
Mm-hmm. So that was the first time in a long time that Lionel got like that. You know what I'm saying? It been a while, but in this situation, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all because he been blatantly disrespectful.
He acting like a woman.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, this was a live speak. This was live last night. We was on the panel last night. All right, let's continue.
Tell you how. Tell me how. You want to hear it? I'm telling you, I read you right. Let me tell you how. Most of
apparently you didn't.
Okay,
everything you said you got wrong already. So how did you read it?
You're a homo thug, man. You know why I say that? I'll tell you what. Let me hear you out first. Because I'm gonna hear you out here. Most of the black men who fucked over black women in the streets in that drug era, in that coke era, we came back on preach the black. You don't preach the black woman. So you run a child molestation shit past everybody. So we came out of the penitentiary in the trenches, understanding how we fucked over black women, how we wasn't there for our children, how we wasn't there for the black woman. We didn't come out bitter. We came out fucking better. Now she's a fucking goddamn queen. Can't nobody say nothing about her. That's how we came out. So you come out of a nigga like, oh, the black woman. You want a nigga to always talk.
Hey,
hear me out. See, hear me out. I'm not saying,
bro. You've been talking for the past 30 minutes, monologuing.
Okay,
so respectfully, bro, that's a lie. The dudes that got locked up in the penitentiary, y'all the one who was treating the black woman wrong by not being
No. After we came out.
Period.
I said after we came out.
After you come out, after you had this epiphany.
Have you been locked down before?
You're only doing that.
Have you been locked up before? Have you changed your life? Have you changed your life? Why do you hate black women? Why do you hate black women? Here's my question. Why do you hate black women? No. Are you trying to say all black women are the same?
You be out there around slanging drugs. You be out there around being a toxic simp.
How? Why do you hate black women, man?
So cut it out.
Why do you hate black women? Let me question you. Why? There's many good black women in the world.
So real quick, that's the. If y'all couldn't hear what I was saying, I was telling dude this. I was saying, hey, it is your fault. It is your fault that you're the one who created this whole type of scenario with single black mothers. It is your fault, you and other dude's fault, getting locked up, put up in a pen because you want to go out there and slang drugs, so you want to go out here and procreate with all these different type of women and not take accountability. Then on top of that, you end up, these women end up having to raise these sons up to be how the way they are right now, and you want to get out of penitentiary and think you're going to sit up here and correct us or tell us what we need to do? No, that's bullshit. You're out of pocket on that, bro. But let's continue. Lola, salute.
Well, why are you not talking about them black women, man? I understand your feelings, but my thing with you is that, okay, we know there's black women that play games, get niggas set up, get murdered, but why ain't you talking about the good black women? That's my goddamn question.
Because in this conversation, that's what we're talking about. We are talking about a certain type of woman. We're not talking about every black woman in the darn world.
Okay, tell me about the black woman that you want to date.
I don't have to tell you about that because that's not the conversation. We talking about dating. Do men or women have dating options? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about no whole shit. We're not talking about no black power shit or nothing like that.
I'm pro black woman.
If men
I'm pro black woman. I am pro black woman, man. Yes, we do have. For every black man, there's at least 10 to 15 black women that we can date. I'm saying black men, like you said, ain't shit. I'm saying, see, well, you misunderstand. I'm saying the same thing you and your man's saying. I'm saying black men ain't shit.
But bro, check this out. Earlier, you said that women have more options. Now you're saying men have more options.
You know what? Women have more options because they can scream. You niggas said the elders was in shit and failed y'all, right? And if you said
yeah, the 70s and 80s, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there was no simps and that was part of the
I'm agreeing with the
one who was
called a paradox.
To be absent mothers, of course.
It's called a paradox. Do you know what paradox is?
No, that's not paradox. That's the choice, bro, that they decided to do. Okay, no paradox behind it.
Okay, I'm saying something right now. Okay, let's both agree to disagree on this here. I believe this here. You're right. I'm also right too.
No, you're not, bro. But
you got.
How the hell? What the hell? How the hell? I could be right and we both right and we both wrong. Like what the hell? What the hell?
Is this when he's starting to talk about the paradox?
Yeah, this is when you start to talk about the paradox, bro. Well, I'm finna start cooking the hell out of him. All right, because he just said to himself more and more and more. But all right. Let's continue. Shout out to everybody in the building. OSD, I see you. Slim, I see you in the building as well, too.
You got a wife?
That's not part of the discussion. But go ahead.
No, you know.
Oh, hold on. Let me round it back up because I know this the part SBK one. Every black woman in the darn world.
Okay, tell me about the black woman that you want to date.
I don't have to tell you about that because that's not the conversation. We talking about dating. Do men or women have dating options? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about no whole shit. We're not talking about no black power shit or nothing like that.
I'm pro black woman.
If men
or women, I am pro black woman, man. Yes, we do have. For every black man, there's at least 10 to 15 black women that we can date. I'm saying black men, like you said, ain't shit. I'm saying, see, well, you misunderstand. I'm saying the same thing you and your man's saying. I'm saying black men ain't shit.
But bro, check this out. Earlier, you said that women have more options. Now you're saying men have more options.
You know what? Women have more options because they can scream. You niggas said the elders was in shit and failed y'all, right? Ain't that you said?
Yeah, the 70s and 80s, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there
I'm
was
saying,
those simps and that was part
and
of
I'm
the
saying,
drug
I'm
era,
agreeing
and
with
they
you.
the one who
It's
was
called a
leaving women to
paradox.
be absent mothers, of course.
It's called a paradox. Do you know what paradox is?
No,
Me,
that's
you're
not a
not wrong.
paradox. That's a choice, bro, that they decided to do.
Okay,
No paradox
okay.
behind it.
Okay, I'm telling you something right now. Okay, let's both agree to disagree on this here. I believe this here. You're right. I'm also right too.
No, you're not, bro. But go
You
ahead.
got husband, you got a wife?
That's not part of the discussion. But go
No,
ahead.
you're not married yet. You know why you're not married yet? Because you're not married.
That's irrelevant to what we're talking
No,
about.
no. The reason why it's relevant is here, because black men who always say that it's a date option. Here's a date option. There's a reason why black women don't get married to black men. There's a reason why black men don't get married to black women. And your position is simple as this here. Dating options, right? So when you date, you feel a black woman is not, I guess, compatible with you.
No, so let me give you context to what he's talking about. So in other words, the reason why he asked me was I married or not, because his follow-up question would have been, are you married to a black woman? That's the reason why I didn't entertain it, because I knew what he was going to say. Okay. I knew that that's where he was going to go. So men like him, they believe that men like me, we don't marry black women. We tend to date outside our race. Let's say hypothetically that was true, that I did do that, right? What difference did that make in the current conversation? None whatsoever. All right, but let's continue. That's not what we're saying.
Okay, tell me what you're saying then. I'm trying to figure out you ain't got a wife, because the way you talk, you have a wife now.
Oh, I mean, you could assume. No, it's okay, Queen.
No. I was saying there's more. The dating options. My thing. Let's talk about dating, right? My question is a little bit deeper. My question is, okay, brother, I could be wrong. It's a paradox. My question is here is why, since there's, and here's the statistics right now, since there's more, I guess, available women than there's men. My thing is, if you had a wife right now that's living with you, is laying right next to you, I wonder would you still be having the same conversation. So my question to you is this here: why you got a wife?
Who said I didn't?
So if you had a wife, where's she at?
That's none of your business.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm transparent. The reason why you ain't got a wife is because
I really
it's
want to
deeper
stick
than
to the topic.
Okay, let's go back to dating. Let's go back to dating now.
Yeah, please do. Stay on the topic.
So dating is this here.
So you're saying that the women have the most options in dating?
Yeah. Please explain that. Why do you believe women have more options than men? Chat real quick. Let me ask y'all this question. Based on what he was saying, right? Based on what he was saying, do you believe that it was valid for him to ask me, do I have a wife? Once again, based on what he was saying, do you believe that it was valid for him to ask me if I had a wife or not? Now, keep in mind, he's already assuming that I don't have a wife. And I just allow him to stay in that zone where he at, so I could go ahead and cook him later. So y'all let me know. Oh, Lana, you back?
I could have sworn this dude told us that he could read people, that he could read the situation, all of that. His own sister sitting here trying not to debunk him, and he don't even see it. What does you having a wife have to do with the conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Hence why we was all quiet. Me and her were both quiet.
Yep. And so this why I said, like I said, the reason why he asked that wife question is because he wants to see if I was married. The second part of that question is that he's trying to figure out if my wife was black or not, because he's trying to prove his hotel point. So that's the reason why I didn't even entertain it at our period, because honestly, it was none of his damn business, nor it didn't go with the current conversation that we was talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't his business at all. But again, he was trying to find a way to make it personal.
Set up here doing these good old ad hominems. But I love it. I love it where people want to start using ad hominem attacks because that's when I be in rare form. That's when I dissect the hell out of you. Start using ad hominems. But let's continue.
Junior.
The reason why women have more options than men, right? Because men, as the brother was saying,
Y'all hear me?
is that
Good.
a lot of
Yeah, we hear
times
you. Y'all hear
high
yes, okay.
caliber women who's independent,
My question
right?
is what you guys hate black women? What you guys hate black women?
Why we hate black women?
Oh shit. Oh man. Look, man, y'all handled yourself good last night, bro. I just want to tell y'all that. But to answer your question, Urban, man, it made no sense why he asked why you're married. I see why he did, but it made no sense, because it was just way out of pocket. Because like I said in the chat, I wrote in the chat, it was, you guys were talking about the ratio of the dating pool ratio. You know what I'm saying? And how it ended up about you guys hating black women, and y'all ain't shit because you ain't been to prison. And I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead, Lionel.
you did say that. We ain't shit because we haven't been locked up. Essentially, we don't know how to treat a woman because we haven't been locked up.
Yep, facts. So we haven't been locked up. We haven't did time, so therefore we don't know what we're talking about. And then to top it off, man, shoot, yeah, you obviously ain't married because you don't have no life experience. Crazy.
Crazy stuff, man.
But he can read people.
Man, it just made me want to eat some popcorn and go on to the house.
Hey, SBK, why you didn't jump on the panel, bro? Why you
I
jump on the
started
panel
to,
last
man.
night?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Urban. I had text Lionel. I started to because I was upset. We're laughing about it now, but I started to, but I was upset, and I just went ahead and I just got out of the chat because he from the jump when he got up there, man, he was after you guys. You know what I'm saying? So just being very disrespectful. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you notice, fellas, I feel like that dude's been listening to y'all because you guys were, the conversation was not about black women. It was just dating and the ratio of men and women, to in general. So I just think that the dude, been listening. Maybe he took some stuff that the wrong way, but he automatically he assumed that you guys, had something against black women. But that's my whole thing. But I started to jump up there, man. But no, man, I was like, no, I'm gonna exercise restraint. I'm gonna buy out of that one.
See, here's the thing too, and this goes with the point about emotional ideology. All right, I believe that part of that is him, listening to parts of the content. Then also another part of it is what his sister Queen was sharing with him as well too, and so he was manipulated into that emotional ideology, thinking that we don't like black women, but that's far from the truth. We only talk about the behavior that these certain type of women do, and we talk about it in hopes to rectify the situation or to cure the situation. Likewise, the same exact way how we talk about the men, where we literally call the men simps and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying, for doing the stuff that they do. We want to rectify the behavior. That's all we want to do. But you can't rectify the behavior if you don't talk about it.
Right. It's not like it's not like you just calling out women or black women, because if you listen, if you really pay attention, you can't cherry pick, because man, we getting onto these simps, talk about these simps and these are weak dudes, whatever, just as much. You know what I mean? So it's not like you just picking on black women. You know, so that's my whole thing about that.
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. That's why I be taking a shot at the women from your channel because they don't hear that. They hear what they want to hear. But then look at Urban's chat. Outside of Scorpio Mama and sometimes Constance, the women hear what they want to hear. That's just how they operate. So they're going to look at it. We could literally sit here and be like, man, these women have pretty feet. They're going to say, so you're trying to say all women have ugly feet? How y'all turn that around?
Or even worse, they'll equate that to us cheating. So you're cheating on your woman by looking at another woman's body.
Exactly. Urban can
But
do
they,
something nice for an associate. He cheating on his wife.
mm-hmm, facts.
SPK can be telling us that married women and old ladies be trying to hop in his DMs, be trying to hop in his car on the down low, just trying to come up to his house stalking him. They're gonna be like, that's only a small amount of women that do that.
Well, obviously, Lionel, according to the brother here, you ain't read shit.
That's true. That's how they talk. That's why I said he sounded like a woman. That's how they'll talk. You can literally show them your English bachelor's degree, and they're gonna sit here and tell you you ain't never been to school.
or they'll say they're just a bachelor's degree. You need a PhD.
That's exactly what they'll say. But then they'll say we hate them because we called them out on that.
Well, what I don't get is both of y'all can help me out with this, man. I'm sitting around this time that chat went on. I'm sitting here chilling. I just got off work, and Lionel, you specifically said that you help out people that are victims that have been violated, and that was null and void to him. It was like that's just and at one point in time he said that's just a cover up. I'm like, wow. I'm like, man. I mean, how are you helping? I'm like, and he said, how are you helping? How are you getting? You said, I'm literally helping, black women. That's what you actually said. I'm literally helping black women. And he ain't trying to hear that. So how is that not? My question is, fellas, why is that null and void? Why is that not important? That
I,
should be celebrated. That
I
should
would
be.
actually ask Urban's Lounge, the women that be in his chat, that same question. Because at this point, every single female that comes to his channel has heard that I shelter homeless women, that I shelter victims, that I help abuse victims. I've been doing it for a decade, and they'll say I hate women. Most of the victims are black. They'll say I hate black women. He's
Well,
just
but
doing what the women do.
well, gentlemen, y'all know the answer to that question. The answer to that question is when you deal with a hyper emotional male, that's the result you're gonna get where
Yep.
you're gonna be thinking that emotions is logic and logic is none and void.
True, and I also want to agree with Lionel on this. You typed it in the chat whenever I was roasting dude, and shout out to Queen. But I got nothing against dude. It was entertainment for me. But at one point in time, I had to get out of the chat because I got upset. But um, what Lionel said in the chat, guys, was very much true. I wish you would have highlighted Urban. He said uh, majority of women these days give this type of dude the vagina, give them the cooter. You know what I'm saying?
Big
Give
facts.
babies give babies to dudes that have this type of mentality. You know what I mean? And that's very much true.
Yeah, big facts. And then we be the ones that call squirrels and stuff. We the one who have to want to clean up the mess that they done made, and the mess that the women allowed as well too. So big facts. Yeah, I agree. And this is the plight that I'm telling y'all tonight on the show is that these are the many things that we deal with. We be dealing with the behavior of these said type of women. We be dealing with these behavior of these beta male men as well too. And then y'all look to us to be y'all savior, y'all hero, y'all Superman. And then when we start telling y'all about our mental health, how the way it affect us, then that's also known to void. Y'all say that y'all care about our mental health, but when it comes down to it, you really don't. You really don't care.
Man, I can't wait till you react on that on that what you call it, on my thing or whatever about mental health. Man, the first when oh, I hate to get dude was basically like you were saying, he was basically trying to come in like on a white horse, talking about we need to protect. I think one of the you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the most can be the most damaging thing is when women uh the word women empowerment. You know what I'm saying? I think in a lot of ways it's misleading, you know what I'm saying? And it just gives a false sense of usurping a man's authority. You know what I'm saying? Empowering what? Okay, you're empowering yourself to, you know, take over a man's ability to be a man. Is that what this that's what it's all about? You know, dude said he got out of prison and he wanted to protect, the women. You know what I mean? I ain't protecting all women, bro. I'm
Facts.
just not. Shit, I ain't protecting all women. Hell, I done been in some situations where, man, I'm sorry, man, but I done been in, I've seen some situations. I've been in situations. I've seen some situations where, you know, uh, dudes just run up and protect the woman, and the woman is just dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, you jump up like you're this savior or whatever, and you're going to end up getting your life taken. And guess what? The woman is still going to be with the batterer, the man that she's, that's beating on her and whatever, abusing her. So, man, I don't believe in all this stuff protect all women, bro. I ain't with all that.
Hey, SBK, when I had said that right, and I was the reason why I said that because at that time I was reacting to the Rhoda Osmond situation, the Brooklyn lady, right?
Yeah.
I was reacting to that, and I told the men, I like, hey, it is not our responsibility to protect a woman that we don't know. Period. Do you know every woman in them simps came after me? They sit up and say, oh man, you're not a man, you ain't nothing. They say a man's supposed to be a gentleman. You're supposed to protect us. Hell no. I'm only
Bullshit.
responsible for protecting the main women in my life, and that's my wife and my daughters. That's
That's
it.
right.
And my
That's right.
mother, what I'm saying? If possible, my mother. That's my main circle. Other
I
than
agree.
that, if you ain't in my main circle, hell no, I'm not protecting you. Like, for what?
I mean, and if you end up protecting somebody that you don't even know, bro, you know what I mean? You get your life taken. 9 times out of 10, that woman is going to go right back to that dude. That's facts. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So you're doing that for what? I told man, I ain't protecting all women. You got me effed up. No, bro. I'm sorry you got I'm sorry a lot of men have the jailhouse religion and the jailhouse epiphanies, but man, y'all keep that, man. I ain't doing all that. I ain't having the jailhouse religion coming out. Oh, I came out of prison and I just wanted to be Captain Save 'em. Hell no. Salute to you though.
Hey, I'm gonna throw this out here, and then I want to get y'all perspective about it, gentlemen on the panel, and also everyone who are tuned in right now. I believe that The reason why the women, and this dealing with actual married women, okay? I believe the reason why these said women put these men in these scenarios, right, where they try to force this dude to protect them and their life getting unalive is simply because they got a life insurance policy out on this dude and they're purposely trying to unalive that dude so they can get that policy. So, well, what do y'all think about that?
Go ahead, Lionel. Go ahead.
Urban, you gotta say it again. I just had to come out the freezer.
Oh, my bad, bro. I say it again. I believe that the married women, right, the reason why they purposely put their husbands into that scenario where they force him to try to fight for this dude or fight for whatever, right, even when it's their fault, is because they got a life insurance policy out on that dude and they're purposely trying to create a scenario so he could be unalive so he could get that money severance package. So what y'all think?
I think that's real. As simple as that. I think that's real.
Women are chaotic.
I
They
totally,
love chaos.
I totally believe that's real, and it happens all the time, Urban.
I mean, think about it, brothers. Think about it. Even this whole concept about the chivalry thing, right? Where the woman want the man to walk on the side where the car is approaching it. Why is that important for her? Why is that important for us to be on that side so he can get hit by the car? Once he get hit by that car, then that's a wrap. He's gone, but she's reaping the benefits behind it.
Facts. Facts.
I'm just saying.
It
That
all, it
whole
all goes. Go ahead. I'm
oh,
sorry.
go. No, you good. Go ahead, bro.
No, it all goes back to in the long run, Urban. A female is not going to be concerned about a man's well-being in the end. You know, and I'm not saying all females or whatever, but generally the large portion, the large majority of women do not care about what a man will go through or is going through in their daily lives. It's all about me. It's all about what I can get out of the situation. I know a dude right now, man, makes, his wife don't do nothing for him, don't cook for him, don't clean for him, don't do nothing. But he's got real good friend of mine. Gets her everything she wants. Made a statement to a lady that works for me, made a statement, and the lady came back, told me, made a statement, said, you know what this chick said? I said, what's up? She said, man, she said something about it. If he gets sick, he got a good insurance policy. But you're saying that in jest, but you're serious. You know what I'm saying? So what you just, the scenario that you just pointed out, that's reality, bro. I mean, that's reality, and more, and it's very much common, Urban, in my opinion. And it's just, it's reality, it's common, and you'd be surprised, man, who have policies and putting their men in predicament situations.
Hey, SBK, you into fitness and all this stuff, right? Let's say that you're a single man, you're into fitness, and you've been doing fitness all your life. You've been taking care of yourself all your life, all through your single life, and meeting this woman, right? You meet this woman, and next thing you know, she said, "Hey, I can cook." You're excited because you love a woman who could cook, right? But guess what? She's up here cooking these type of foods and stuff, right? That it's not healthy. And then at first you tell her like, hey, I'm not for all the unhealthy meals. I'm not for the neck bones and the collard green and the slavery type food and stuff, right? I want to eat healthy so I can live longer. Guess what she'll do? She'll manipulate you and say that she feel insecure. She'll say that I'm feeling insecure because you don't trust my cooking. And so guess what? You as a man, you be manipulated. She used that emotional ideology and get you to start eating some collard greens, some neck bones, some fried chicken, things that you wouldn't do in your single life. And next thing you know, you start developing diabetes, high blood pressure, and all the stuff there. And she go back and say the same thing. Well, we got a good insurance policy, but in reality, what she's doing, she's purposely sabotaging your life expectancy just so she could collect that severance package, that insurance package, that life insurance. That's the reason why men don't live longer and women live longer, especially in marriages, because they do certain things to sabotage men, whether it's through mental health, whether it's through their actual physical health as well too. So what would y'all think, gentlemen?
I totally agree. I've seen it. I have a buddy of mine, man, a colleague of mine. I've known him for 30 some odd years. Basically, that scenario that you just put down, Urban, dude is shriveled up. Got married to a woman, and just basically the woman just changed his whole lifestyle and changed his whole ideology. And I mean, and she used that. I'm, you make me feel insecure by the way you look and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So he admitted to me that he got a divorce from the lady, but he admitted to me, guys, that he had to go to counseling. He became a nervous wreck. You know what I mean? Just basically he was just had nervous breakdowns, all types of stuff. So ain't no telling what that chick put him through that he didn't tell me. But that's true, man. Those scenarios right there, I've seen.
They about to say not all women.
Not all women. I'm not like that. Not all women, Urban. Not all
And that
women, Lionel.
see how that's a problem because all that does is negate that dude's experience. All that does is negate what a lot of these other guys be talking about. It doesn't help by saying not all women because a lot of these women put dudes through that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they call it marriage weight. Have y'all heard that before? Marriage weight.
Marriage weight, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what they call it. Women coin that marriage weight. Oh, I just got some marriage weight. No, that because you literally sent up her feeding that dude like a freaking pig purposely so he can have high cholesterol so he can literally unalive that dude. Let's keep it real for what it is. But ladies, I'm letting y'all know about this because a lot of y'all have this emotional ideology and you just don't know it. That's why I'm exposing it to y'all right now to let you know that these things really do exist.
If they have sons, they'll know it. These women have a habit of talking like us when their son is going through something.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question, Urban and Lionel. Back to the Derek Jacks guy. Okay, I wrote in the chat. I think you highlighted it, but when that dude was caught up in all that mess, right? And it was found out, like you said, you pointed all out, Urban. About the dude was a fraud. He was just doing awesome, just some, outlandish type stuff. So they, him and his wife or whatever, on national television. He's holding his hand, she's holding her hand, and so forth and so on. And to me, old girl looked defeated. She looked battered. She looked emotionally not there. Um, in y'all's opinion, do you think that he was verbally abusing her? Was there a lot of emotional abuse? Uh, in y'all's opinion on that?
Hey, Buddy was exercising his options. No, I'm playing with you, bro. No, he really was verbally. Yeah, he really was verbally abusing her. Hell, I'll say he probably was physically abusing her too, and he was most definitely spiritually abusing her.
Yeah, Urban hit all the points. Exactly how I was thinking what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if y'all, I mean, I know y'all listen to that fool or whatever, man. I could, when he was in his heyday in his prime, it just something was off with the dude, man. And you can't just go hard like that, man. And you're a champion for women, and you know, dude was selling all kinds of merch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, it's something not right with this dude. And all of a sudden, he just got exposed. And you got the audacity to come out now again and talk the same BS. I mean, I thought you was buried. You know, what rock did you come out from? You know what I mean? And he's just, you know, he's just out. That clip that you just played, Urban, man, that's just, and the song that he played, of course, I totally agree with you, bro. That's just, that is just, man, he did that shit on purpose. He is just, man, you want to talk about narcissism. He is the definition.
Now keep in mind that them same women, they gravitate towards that. Like before I downloaded that clip on his TikTok, women were in his chat that's agreeing with him, that was committing on him. Some of the women would separate saying, yes, baby, I could stand the rain with you, all kind of stuff. And it was insane. And this right out, and these women know good and well that this dude did what he did to his wife, and they don't care. They do not care at all. But this goes with that emotional ideology that I'm telling y'all about.
It's all about how you make her feel. It's all about how you make her feel. He making these women feel what? Guess what? Him being an abuser, that don't mean nothing. And of course, you're going to hear women being like, not me. Well, look at the comments in his area. He got 50,000 women sitting here saying, that's them.
Man, how many times you seen this dude? You know, if you know, back in the heyday, man, he posting all this stuff, and then I never saw a man repost his stuff. It was all women reposting his stuff. You know what I'm saying? All his BS.
Facts.
I ain't never seen a dude repost his shit.
But this goes back to what I said when Sweet Rita earlier was trying to say women want a man that's essentially leading. They don't want a man that's a beta. But yet this guy is sitting here saying, you men need to be betas for your woman. You need to worship the ground they walk on. You need to know what they're thinking and act accordingly. This is the message he's given. And then look at all the women sharing the message.
I'm gonna say this here about that. I saw her and Joe commenting on that. I'm gonna say this here, man, and I'm gonna let you brothers go. I gotta get going, but man, when it's time for a man to lead, and a woman questions a man's leadership, there's always going to be that pushback from that woman. And the women that always push back on a man's leadership are the very ones that always say, where are the real men at? Where are the true leaders at? You know what I mean? You got one right there in front of you, but you're not gonna follow him. You know what I'm saying? Because you're living in fairy tale land. You're living in Looney Tune land. The type of leadership that some of these women are looking for, that's all fairy tale, bro. Days of Our Lives, all cartoon and soap opera-ish. You know what I'm saying? So true leadership, man, is not appreciated.
I agree.
That's facts. You know what I mean?
Facts.
When a man makes a decision and he's confident in his decision, and you're going to stand with him, there ain't going to be no pushback whatsoever. There is not going to be any excuses. Well, I just thought this, and man, ain't nobody trying to hear all that, man. Either you with me or you against me.
Sweet Rita, she said that all men don't have the skills that pays the bills.
We can't work like you, Sweet Rita.
You heard that, Sweet Rita? He said we can't twerk like you.
All right, bros, man, I gotta get going, man. I appreciate you having me up, Urban. Lionel, stay up, bro.
I am.
Like always, man. Appreciate you.
She talking about the skills though. I mean, when y'all say make money, what type of money? That becomes the situation also. Because that be the whole thing, you know, oh, these niggas are broke. These men are broke. Despite the statistics saying something different. This is why I say a lot of these dudes out here, they just broke for that girl.
Mm-hmm.
They,
Sarita said she'll give you lessons, Lionel. Don't worry about it.
at least she willing to teach. At least she willing to teach. How many of these women are going to sit here and say, well, you should have already known? I appreciate her for being willing to teach because too many women say, I'm not your mama. The same women that home dude was bringing up. Because again, we got to worship the mamas too and the grandmothers. He wanted to talk about back in the day. I don't know why you would want to talk about the 60s to the 80s going into the 90s. Them black grandmas weren't shit because we only want to concentrate on what they were doing in the positive light and ignore what they were doing behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Too many stories. Too many stories. Just
Yep,
they letting
facts.
all type of shit happening to their grandchildren, to their children, only to get perpetuated by the mom. This isn't a matter of if we're gonna sit here and have an honest conversation, and he want to bring up how only a small amount of the dudes weren't shit or how these dudes weren't there. That becomes irrelevant because these women had 4 or 5 dudes coming in and out the house. They had uncles and whatnot coming in and out the house. They was letting so much crap happen. This went way beyond drugs,
Mm-hmm.
but we're gonna hold the men accountable because they just weren't there. This is literally my sister robbing a bank right now, but they coming to arrest me. Wait, why y'all arresting me? Because your sister robbed the bank. I wasn't even there. That's how
Mm-hmm.
these talk, or men like him talk.
Yeah, facts. That emotional ideology, facts.
That's literally how they talk. But we don't hold the grandmas of the past accountable, the mamas of the past accountable that shaped a very negative precedence because it was so much keep it in a family. Hush, don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, final thoughts, Lionel.
We got to stop listening to the Derek Jacksons. We got because the reality is they're going to ask for a solution. Stop listening to niggas like this. These dudes that are championing you, sitting here putting you on a pedestal, these aren't your friends. These are not the guys that are looking out for your best interest at all. And it's like the women got to stop being so damn delusional. Like they're choosing to be delusional. They're choosing to operate in this illusionary world where, hey, these guys are speaking facts. Listen to them. What is wrong with you? Do you not hear what he's saying? They're choosing to reinterpret certain things because it makes them feel good. Stop looking at shit that makes you feel good. If y'all don't start listening to Scorpio Mama or something, like, use your heads.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, that fixes the problem. Start using your heads. That literally fixes the problem. See men for what they are, or at least see the men that, I mean, these women are quote unquote good at reading shit. They can read astrology, they can read the signs, yet they stay ending up with the ain't shit dudes. And then guess what? They sharing him with 50 other women, but they can read so well. They know the signs. Oh, we all make mistakes. I ain't never been in prison. I ain't catch no diseases. I'm not I'm not making those type of mistakes. I don't have a baby with a chick I don't like. I mean, I don't have a child, period, but these women have freaking 4, 5 different baby dads. And then they'll say they're just living life. She made a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Absolutely. So my conclusion on this whole matter is that yes, it is true that women they want men to submit to their emotional ideology. It is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Another part about this is that women need to be aware of the predatory behavior of these said type of men that they literally grooming, that they're literally grooming to be this way. Because just like with Derek Jackson and other men out here, hell, even Buddy that was on the panel and stuff, they resemble predatory like behavior. And then once when that behavior happen, right, and things happen to them, guess what? They're gonna be looking for men like myself, men like Lionel, men like SBK to come in rescue them. When we already up here warning them about the behavior, warning them that, hey man, this dude ain't what it is at all. That emotional mindset ain't what it is at all, period. It need to change. So that's my conclusion on the matter, bro.
And one more thing, the fact is, because of the work your wife does, and because you've been in similar work, you actually can see the signs. You
Mm-hmm.
see that energy. These women don't see that. And then
Mm-hmm.
they want to complain after the fact. But I could swear more than half be like, I can read the energy. I know the signs. I know what it looks like. No, y'all don't. This dude proves it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, once
But
again, bro, hey, I appreciate you coming up, man, like always,
it's
man.
a good show, man.
All
I
right.
appreciate being on, man.
Oh yeah, no problem. Hey, use the inspiration of this content tonight.
I'm
So,
just saying, I gotta go back and listen to myself.
yep. Check it out.
All right, man.
Check it
Have a
out.
good one.
All right, you too. Appreciate you. Once again, salute to everybody who tuned into the show today. Thank you. Appreciate y'all a lot. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all who are watching the live right now. And I also appreciate each and every last one of y'all who are catching the replay as well too. Make sure y'all hit the like button because it helps out the channel a whole lot. If you're not sub up to the channel, go ahead and sub up to the channel so you can continue to receive this thought-provoking conversation. Now I know how the YouTube algorithm is. Even when you want to subscribe and hit the notification, sometimes YouTube do what they do. You know what I mean? But that's do your best to know that I do be live when I come live. All right. So appreciate that. I always appreciate the support. Make sure y'all want to check out my my fan merch store as well too. It is on my page, and also check out my other content that I put out as well too on TikTok, my DJing channel as well too when I DJ. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate all that. Appreciate all support. Appreciate y'all checking out all that as well too. Well, whenever I go on other people's panels, and I'm gonna do my best to try to make sure that I post on my community wall so y'all can come over and support the lounge. All right. So other than that, appreciate y'all. I appreciate Lionel and SBK putting it up on the panel. Thank you. Appreciate y'all, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all, gentlemen. And other than that, y'all have a great and wonderful night. Mrs. Urban told me that the food is ready. It is time to eat dinner. So I'm fixing to go eat, y'all. So appreciate y'all. We're out of here.